Greetings and salutations. I'm Zook, your lovable storyteller, bringing you an episode of Exalted, our first session of this campaign. I'm here joined with Knave, Sig, Token, and Kai. And um, here we are. We're trying. Here we are. We're trying out Tabletop Simulator. We've put together some assets and made characters in third edition. First, before we begin, I would like to thank Desktop Hero 3D. They have given me express permission to use their miniatures in my stream. And there they are, the ones that we have so far. I would also like to thank Kevin MacLeod for his royalty-free music, which you're hopefully hearing right now. But other than that, is there any announcements or anything, any plugs anyone wants to do in case somebody watches?
I helped Zook model the things.
Yes.
That is true. Nope, that is true. Okay.
That's
So there are two ways we can go about doing this. I can start from, dawn, then we can go to zenith, then we can go to twilight as far as the characters go. Or if somebody would rather go first and not be pressured to go first, we can do it that way. I know this is everyone's kind of new experience, but I do have everyone's prelude already planned. So whoever wants to go first, we can do it that way. Or I can just throw Sig under the bus and start off with
No!
Dawn.
Does anyone want to go first?
I want to go last.
We can go reverse order.
That works.
So does anyone want to go first?
No.
No?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not like. I'm indifferent. I
I'll go
suppose.
first.
Oh. When we do in-person games, just so you guys know, this is usually decided by nose goes.
Yeah, it literally is. We do nose goes.
I win.
I mean, we could do, in a sense, a nose goes of, roll a dice and see who gets highest.
No,
Token
Token-
volunteered to go
I
first.
volunteer as tribute.
Okay.
Alright, so before we begin, I'm going to just go over briefly Exalted. Exalted, I'm not going to go into the huge history of Exalted. It's been around for 20 years now. It is an amalgamation of many different cultures, beliefs, and just different gods and deities. It's a very fantasy mixed with they have steampunk elements in some places. Other places are more like Dynasty Asia, sort of just an amalgamation of different religions and superstitions, and if you took all of those beliefs and structures and smushed them into an anime series, that's Exalted. You'll notice that there are elements of things like Dragon Ball Z and things you can even get high school kids in giant mech robots in some settings of Exalted. So it's a very mix mash of different genres, and that's one of the things I love about this setting. It is the year 765, is the Realm Year 765. That means the Empress has been the Scarlet Empress, who rules over the Blessed Isle in the center. I'll bring up the map right here. She has been reigning as the Empress for 765 years. The last 5 years, however, she has been missing. No one knows where she is. So the realm is on the verge of civil war. While that's going on, the scavenger lands are kind of fending for themselves. So I'm not going to go into the history. We'll kind of discover it as we go. Token, we are starting with your character, who is Radomir. If you could tell us maybe what he looks like and maybe a brief little history lesson on your character.
Okay, so he is a weak-blooded fae. So his big tell of his is that he's got pointed ears. People generally don't have those in this setting. He's rather lanky, he's tall. But he's a little built, just a little bit. He's got long hair, it's kind of wavy. He usually has it either braided or put in a ponytail. He's usually done something with it. It's a violet, lavender-ish color. On top of his eyes also being a bright violet color. and he is chaotic. He's quiet, he's sweet. He will make you think he is a very nice person, but he's very chaotic. He's
not
rather
chaotic
narcissistic.
neutral, not chaotic good, just chaotic.
Chaotic. He's chaotic bastard.
He's chaotic bastard.
Um,
Okay.
and a little feral.
And just a little hint,
Just a little feral.
a sprinkle of feral.
He was raised by his grandma, due to other things. His father was killed, for being half fae, and his mother dejected him for various reasons. And he grew up in Nexus, which is a massive fucking city that is lawless but not. They won't let you know they're lawless on the outside, but they're pretty lawless. And as he grew, he fell in love with art, and so when he basically became, I guess, old enough, he decided to open up a tattoo shop. And so now he's a tattoo artist.
Okay. And you also work for the guild, is that correct?
He also works for the guild, yes.
Okay.
You don't need to know about that though.
Well, this is where we're going to start.
Yeah. Hooray!
So, what does your character look like? Besides the 40 years. What is he wearing?
Well, he
are
likes
you
to
wearing?
wear very frilly, not frilly, but he likes to look fancy. He likes to show off skin. He likes fishnet, like spandex, see-through spandex type things.
Uh-huh.
And he likes to wear V-cuts, shoulder, like I don't know clothes. He wears
very
clothes that show off his
flamboyant.
shoulders. Yes.
He wears clothes.
Flowy.
That's it.
He wears clothes.
Yes.
I hope he's not going around nude.
He totally would if it was acceptable.
I mean, in some
Brilliant.
areas of creation it is, but
You're right.
we're not.
We're not there
Not one of those.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
yet.
All right. So, you are in Nexus. You are in one of the many outposts of the guild. The guild has a giant presence in Nexus. It is the largest city in creation, and it's even bigger than the Blessed Isles Imperial City. Don't let them know that, though. Their ego might get shrunk a little bit. But it is a giant trade city, and it is not under Imperial rule like the rest of creation. Well, like lots of different
Most of it.
places of creation. And you are at the guild itself. You've been called in by your contact, Bosk, B-O-S-K. And you are at his door, and you hear from on the other side of the door, "Hey, get the fuck out of my face!" And then you hear this loud sort of falling noise, like something slammed into the ground. The door opens up, and you see a guild member dragging out a dead corpse, leaving a blood trail. And you see the person dragging the body just look at you and nods. And
Do I recognize him?
yeah, it's somebody you've worked with before. He doesn't really have a name or anything. Stop turning the fucking bottles over. I see you over there. I'm locking them.
I got caught.
I see everything. So you kind of get gestured in by one of the other workers, a female worker, probably a secretary or something similar to that role, kind of flags you in.
Mhm. I walk in.
You walk in and you see this
Whatever.
this very heavy set man. He's got like this long mustache that curls up, very little hair on top of his
He's
head.
ugly, isn't he? He's just ugly.
He's not ugly, but he is very morbidly obese. He has very impressive jewelry though. Like he has wealth and he shows it. He is in front of a stack of paper next to a stack of jade and silver, mostly silver because that's the kind of monetary value in Nexus. And he
Showing it in the
looks
worst ways.
He looks very frustrated, and he looks up and he sees you. Oh, Radomir! Come in here! Come in here!
Oh, I
I'm
see.
here.
He's a
I'm right in
player.
front of you.
It is good to see you!
Oh no, he's Russian.
Sit. Sit. Let us talk.
Okay, I will sit down. Very gracefully.
Oh,
I'm smiling the whole fucking time, okay?
Radomir.
Oh.
When was the last time I gave you a job?
Well, if I
Russian.
had to recall, it was maybe just a month ago.
Month ago. That is far too long. Alright, so I have new job for you if you are willing to take it. Should be easy for your talents. There is someone who has been, how you say, getting their nose in guild business. We want you. Not necessarily kill him, just send him a message, which you do also well.
Okay. What's in it for me?
What's in it for you? Money, of course. What else would it be in it for you? You want something else? You want drugs, horrors? What?
No, that's quite easy for me to get a hold of,
Alright then, so money it is.
I guess.
Now then, the target, let's say he is not unknown to the battlefield.
Mm.
So it pays well, but be careful. Try not to get caught, but if you do, of course, you don't know anything about the guild.
Right.
He slides a piece of paper forward, and it has some scripture written in guild cant, specifically guild cant, which you have for free, having a backing in the guild. You took backing,
Oh,
right?
do I? Yeah.
Okay, so you have the language guild cant.
Well, I also have
Guild
2 dots in
can't do
language, so I
shit.
guess I need to add another language.
Well, you get guild cant for free just for being in the guild.
Okay, cool.
So he slides it forward, and to anyone else, it would look like scratches, hash marks, just
Right.
incomprehensible. But you look at it, and it's an address.
It's Braille.
It's Braille. It's like, send him message. Make sure he stops poking around in our business. Yes.
Can do.
All right. The sooner you return, the more money you get. Ooh.
Fair enough.
All right. So why are you still in my office?
Oh. You're not gonna say goodbye to me?
Mwah.
Radomir will give him a wink and then kind of slide out of his chair and leave.
All right, so you get
The
up.
moment I leave, I kind of like disgust.
Every time Zoo kept saying job, I just kept thinking blow job. When's the
No!
last time I gave you a blow job?
Christ.
It's hard to not laugh.
I
Give me
could
the
give you
blowjob.
now. I mean. All right, so you have an address with a
Thank you.
subject who he didn't give you a whole lot of information on who it is, but they're kind of vague as shit.
Mm,
So what do you do with that information that you've gotten? Basically, you have an address. You don't even have a name of the guy. You just have an address.
okay. I guess I'll just. Where is the address? Do I recognize like where it would be located in the city?
It is in the high, fancy, smancy part of the city.
Oh,
so
I
that
belong
means
there.
this guy has money.
Okay, that's great. All right. Okay, we're gonna just head on there.
Okay. So right now it
Frolic
is.
through the city.
We'll say it is late afternoon. So we're talking like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And you get to the address, and it is a very high-scaled banner. Very beautiful adornments on the outside, some sculptures, and it looks like there is actually a banner as well. I'm gonna have you make a lore roll, see if you know what the banner is.
Okay.
Your voice is getting a little funky.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Minus?
It
It
was.
was.
It sounds
was
okay
weird.
now.
Is it a lore
Oh.
roll?
I was running out of breath. Yeah,
Yeah.
lore. So intelligence and lore.
Um. Hmm.
Your ping had shot up for a second too, so I think that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, probably. Ah, I forgot to hit the record button. Oh well.
Are you recording now?
Yeah, I'm recording now. We're streaming, so I can
Oh,
still
yeah.
download the first part. Just not gonna be as good a quality.
Would bureaucracy be able to be used instead, potentially?
Bureaucracy. You'll get different information, but yes.
Okay, I have more. I have dots in bureaucracy, but I didn't take any in lore.
Okay, so, yeah, bureaucracy will still help.
Lag. I got 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. Oh, shit, by the way, so you guys know, I forgot to tell you about this. You'll notice a little gem underneath your dice bag.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
So,
I clicked
I
on
wanna
spawn
spawn
die
one.
and it just fell.
So if you click a die, oh wow,
Goodbye.
okay,
Yeah,
That's
it just
a
falls off the
bad
table.
place for that. Turn it around. Let me.
Yeah, it's flipped.
Oh, is that what it is? Hang
Yeah.
on.
So like it's on my table, but it's facing towards that middle table. So it's upside down for me.
Whoops.
Yeah, if you spin it, it'll probably fix.
Can I
Yeah.
use
Not
spin?
you. I think Zook has
Oh.
to spin it.
Yeah.
Zooky schmookums. Oh, should I not say that on stream? Is that
That's fine. You
embarrassing?
can do whatever you want.
Damn straight I can.
Oh, nice. There we go. So.
But Evan, you're
What?
not straight.
What?
He's straight as a basketball.
I am
Fair
so
enough.
confused.
Sig is poking fun at the fact that you're my lady friend, Lovey.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. So.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, so that dice will that dice will those dice, I should say, will actually like automatically light up green if it's if it's a success. So they're pretty nifty. Is anybody else's need to be rotated or anything?
Nope, mine spun fine.
Yours is okay. I just
No, it
wrong
turns
way on yours.
orange.
Yeah, orange is when it's a red, but it's I'm sorry, when it's a 10. So you get 2 successes with that. Okay, so you said 3 successes on a bureaucracy roll?
Yep.
Okay, so you know that this family is they don't have a huge presence in the market or anything like that. Well, not in the guild or not in Nexus, I should say. However, in the realm, they're a little bit more prominent. 3 successes. They actually. Just a second.
I'll total you up.
Think about it. For the amount of dice pool that you have for things like abilities, so like tokens bureaucracy, is that just how many dots you got?
Mhm.
Okay.
So I have a 4 in intelligence and I have a 2 in bureaucracy, so my dice pool was 6.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yep.
And then it's 7 and higher is a success? Or is it 6?
6. Yeah, it's 7. 7 and higher.
Okay.
Yep.
It used to be 6 in the first edition.
Yeah, it was, but they also
Yeah.
they also made difficulties. I am gonna hurt you, Evan. I'm gonna just not stop. All
Evan,
right.
what are you doing?
He's
Nothing.
flipping shit.
I accidentally dropped it into the dice roller.
Okay, so they are from House Sesus.
Oh, can you spell that for me?
Sesus.
S-E-S-U-S.
Yes,
Sesu.
Sesus.
Stasis. Oh, SES.
At least I think that's how it's said.
Oh,
No,
God.
you get to decide. It is said that way.
Oh yeah, that's very true. It's my game. I played it well. So House Stasis is actually a dragon-blooded house.
oh, great.
They deal a lot with food and supplies for their troops and whatnot. So what business he has with the guild, who the fuck knows? It could be anything. But you see several like candlelight torches, candlelight flickers from inside the house, kind of emanating um, out of the windows and whatnot. The street is fairly bustling. It's like I said, it's like late evening, so we're gonna say like 7 or 8 o'clock or so. So it's a pretty crowded street in Nexus. There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things.
Okay. How is it like a manor? Is it a house? How
It
big
is a manor.
manor. Okay. Is it guarded?
There looks like there is a couple of armed guards outside.
Okay. Hmm.
Do the thing.
Wasn't given a time frame on when I had to do this, was I?
You were not.
I love it when that happens. I'll walk up to one of the guards, or I guess both of them if they're together.
Sure. You walk up to the guards. They are wearing red regalia. They both have halberds in their hands, and they're not like crossing their halberds or anything. They're not looking at you
Right.
menacingly. They just kind of give you a look. They don't say anything as you approach. They just look at you.
I'm gonna test my luck. I'm just gonna smile and nod like I know I'm supposed to be here and try to walk right past.
One of them holds their. You know what? Before I say that, go ahead and make a roll for it. You are
Okay.
going to pretend like you're supposed to be there.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm supposed to be here
that-
all the time.
That's going to be an appearance, and
Oh boy.
let's go presence.
Appearance and presence.
Appearance
Ooh,
and
yeah.
presence.
Do I have any
Pretty
presence?
good at that. That is 7.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe in you, Tolkien.
I don't.
You're gonna use those dice instead of
Yeah,
the
because I can't
exalted?
get rid of the other ones.
Yeah, you do. There's a button.
Button.
Oh, you're right.
says
Duh.
remove them.
That's fine. I like these anyway.
Okay, whatever works for you.
7.
Yeah, they're all color coded and pretty.
But I like these purple dice.
No, that's what I'm saying. The purple and like
Um,
orange and green like
2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. Let's see.
I rolled a
Yeah.
10.
Get
That's a
it.
10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 10s don't explode, do they?
They count as 2
Out
successes.
of, yeah.
That wasn't a roll. Eh. Oh, okay. So they get 5 successes. Wait, what?
Damn.
4 lighting
it
up.
was
All right, so 3 successes. What did you get?
I got 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So they look at you, they give you a nod, and
Awesome.
walk
I
right
love
past them.
it. Awesome. Fantastic. I wear the perfect outfit for this too.
I imagine that is exactly what Radomir is saying in his head too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
It's like,
you
perfect, yes, quite.
you waltz right in. A servant opens the door for you and
Nice.
gives you a nod, and you are handed a glass of wine.
Oh, nice. This
Ooh.
is great. I'm not gonna drink it just yet.
You
But I'll
you
hold on
walk
to
in.
it.
You walk in to see a very well carved, like beautifully adorned. What are they called? Foyers, and a large staircase that goes up to the second floor. You see several different taxidermy animals, probably successful hunts and whatnot, and several weapons adorning the wall and whatnot. Other than that, a couple servants that are passing from room to room. There's nothing really that you see of importance.
I
Okay.
don't know if anyone else can hear it, but Zook is like slight roboting.
Yeah.
He's the god machine.
There's like a
He's
soft
the god
echo,
machine.
and it's
He's the god
weird.
machine.
Jesus Christ.
I was just about to say that.
Domo arigato.
It's not
stopped
doing it
doing
anymore.
Ah.
Every time you do that, it stops, so it
Of course.
knows.
Yep. So what do you do?
Nobody's paying attention to me other than the fact that I
Not
just came out of
really.
the last one. I'm just gonna walk around.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
you
walk.
Just
walk
enjoy the
around. You
day.
get a pretty general look for the of the bottom floor at this point. You see the kitchen, a lounge area, a den. There are several other people that just kind of look like they're doing the same thing effectively. It explains why the guards just kind of let you in. It looks like people just kind of come and go out of this manor.
Okay. I'm going to be looking for a very pristine room. I'm probably going to be looking for something fancy. The fanciest fucking room or an office. An office is also good. So I'm gonna just kind of be walking through hallways, peering
Okay.
into rooms.
Got a pretty good view of the downstairs at this point, and there's nothing really of note. That's mostly where, like, the den, the library, the kitchen, the dining area, and whatnot is in the downstairs. So most of the like rooms, offices, and bedrooms and whatnot would be on the second floor.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably head up that way then.
Okay, so you head up the main staircase. You were met with a couple of hallways, and several doors line the hall, and there's one at the end with double doors.
I want that one.
Okay.
But I'll peer into the rooms as I pass by.
All right. So
Kind of-
you kind of test the doorknob, and they most of them seem locked. A couple that aren't locked are like empty guest rooms that haven't been occupied.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I'll just keep heading to the double doors then.
Okay.
I'll very quietly test the door handle.
It is locked.
Okay, I'll do like a light rapping on the door.
Okay, you knock on the door. So the door opens, and a woman in a fairly nice outfit opens the door. Yes, can I help you?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but is the lord of the house in?
The master is busy at the moment. Is there a message I can deliver?
Not one that I can't give him in person.
Very well, then you will have to return.
It's a matter of urgency. It
I'm
has to
sure it
do with-
is. It always is.
Let's see here.
She's a witch.
She's
Burn
a witch.
Burn her! No, I just need salt spire lines to just scream.
Let me think here.
Me at the top of my head.
I'm absolutely certain that he would want to hear about this as soon as possible.
All right, go ahead and make a manipulation and socialize roll.
Okay. That will be 8 dice, so I need one more.
It's social combat.
Yay,
That's four,
politics!
five successes.
Five
No,
successes?
yes, 5 successes.
Okay.
Rolled 2 10s and a 9.
Commit, perform a test. Okay, what did you get?
I got 5 successes.
Okay, So 5 successes. She says, regretfully, I must decline.
Oh, okay.
She closes the door. Because you know nothing about this person who you're speaking with, you can't appeal them with anything. If you look at the social combat, because this is useful information, so at the top of the tree it says I want to. So you basically want to have them perform an action or task I give them. This task in this case would be having them you see the master. So you don't know any of their intimacies. You
No.
don't know any of their you don't have anything to appeal them with, and you're not threatening them with violence or blackmail or anything like that. So right now, there's no chance of you succeeding unless you meet one of those 3 criterias. Now you can attempt to learn what their intimacies are. That could take some time, or you could outright threaten them, or blackmail them, or something. But you haven't presented anything that either is important to them or might be important for their status. So she just declines and closes the door.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so
Well, it was worth a shot.
what do you do?
Is there any part of the house that I haven't checked around?
Some of the locked doors upstairs.
Do they have any windows?
There are windows outside, yeah.
That's not helpful. um, I'll just leave. It's fine.
Sure. Okay. So you leave the manor at this point, and
I take the glass of wine with me.
sure. Yeah, they don't stop
It's mine
you.
now. I'll start drinking it this time.
You get a nod from one of the guard that let you in, and you go on your way.
Cool. All right. I'll head back to my home.
All right.
Home.
Okay. So what are you doing at home?
Crying.
Yes. I
Didn't
want
accept my
to
love.
see if I have any literature on. Actually, I want to go to the nearest library. Let's go to one of the nearest guild locations.
Sure. Okay.
Somewhere with a lot of books.
Do you want to go to a library, or do you want to go to the guild?
I want to go to the guild. They're
Okay.
gonna have more information that I want.
All right. So you go to one of the nearest guild outposts. Go right in. What exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for someone to speak with? Are you looking for books to do research on?
I could probably do both. I'll
Okay.
probably I want to look up the house first
Sure.
and see if I can find any maybe like names like of important people, shit like that.
Okay, that's going to be either investigation and intelligence or investigation and lore, whatever is better for you.
That's
I'm sorry,
definitely
intelligence and investigation or intelligence and lore.
Okay, all right, yes.
that
Not
makes
that they
sense.
will both be just 4.
Okay, so you have 4 dice. And what information are you looking for here?
I just want specific names of those that are part of the house and that are alive today.
Sure.
Why did that not stay together? Okay, I got 3 successes.
All right, the head of the house is Lord Winthrop, Casus Winthrop. And he is a merchant that deals with trade between the realm and Nexus. He's not like a giant name, a lot of people do that, but yes, he has direct dealings between both the capital and Nexus.
Is he a military man?
He does have some military information on him, but nothing more than any other dragon-blooded would have.
Okay. Then I will go to somebody here and ask them about this person.
Sure. What kind of person are you looking for?
Maybe the bookkeeper,
Sure.
or potentially someone who deals with politics.
All right. So you find a bookkeeper, and what kind of information are you looking for?
I'll ask them about what this person does, what he looks like.
Okay. So I'm not gonna go. We're not going to roleplay that because there's no need to. He gives you
Yeah.
the information that you're looking for. He basically tells you that he is just a merchant. He deals with a lot of trade between the basically what you got on the books. He tells you that. He also tells you that he also has some trouble sleeping. Is one of the little tidbits that you pick up. He frequents the what is it called? Oh, like a pharmacy of some to get sleeping medications, like a tonic.
Okay, so like a apothecary.
Yeah. And that's basically all the information you get out of this. And you also find the blueprints to the house, which you kind of already knew the layout because you were inside the damn thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's a little helpful. Okay. Here. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh no, I think I fucked something up. I did. Whoops. I also just accidentally deleted my limit trigger, so that's fine. But I'm pretty sure I have that somewhere written down somewhere else too.
Okay.
No, I don't. Just kidding.
It's not so easy now, is it?
Listen, I was just trying to move around the table. And,
Yeah.
like, look at my shit.
Yep.
Don't click on your character sheet unless you intend
I'm not
on
clicking
altering
on
your
anything.
character sheet.
I don't click on it though. Like I'm trying to like turn my camera and shit so I can look at it, and I accidentally clicked into the box and then
Oh,
tried
gotcha.
to move.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
okay.
pressed.
That's
That's
what I
alright.
did.
We can worry about that after the game. It's not a huge deal.
It's the biggest deal.
All right, with that newfound information, what do you?
Dawn medicine. Do I know of any high-class apothecaries near his home?
How long have you been at Nexus?
My whole life.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, you know of an apothecary nearby that house.
Okay. I'm going to head to that apothecary. Well, it's probably closed. What do you think it would be closed?
Late
right now?
evening. Right now, after all that research, we're looking at about 10 to 11
Yeah,
o'clock
it's
at night.
probably
So
closed.
yes.
Okay. Then I will wait until the next day.
Okay. So the next day comes. It is now the morning.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
Describe
just,
his
I'm just
sleep.
gonna get very soundly. He wakes up in
You have
a
dreams of
velvet
men
armchair.
frolicking naked.
He wakes up in a velvet armchair with his limbs draped over it, while he wears a silk robe.
Slept in a fucking chair.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, he'll get there like right when they open.
Okay. So you go to the apothecary.
Yes.
All right, you head into the apothecary. There is an old man who's it looks like he's mixing up something in a mortar and pestle.
Okay. I will walk up to him and with the best expression that I can of being distraught, he will say, "My good sir,
What? What?
It's not picking you up when you do that, Levy.
Too high pitch, I guess. What?
Oh no.
Speak up!
That's what that was?
Yep.
Oh my
I
gosh.
thought someone was like screeching in the background.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically that's what was happening.
I guess
Luke was
you're right,
preaching in the
yeah.
background.
Too
at the
high
time.
pitch.
Too high pitched.
Yeah.
What?
In a louder tone. I am in need of the strongest tonic that you can supply to me
Oh.
for sleep aid.
Oh, so you're one of them folk, huh?
I'm sorry.
What kind of tonic you looking for?
He kind of like shakes his head like, what? I need something for sleep.
Oh, it's not picking up this fucking voice.
No, it's not.
All right.
Heard it through guys.
That's hilarious. It's too high pitched. Oh, okay, I've got something just for you. Hold on just a second.
Cool. Thank God.
Potion seller. I require one of your strongest potions for I'm going into battle.
He comes back with a large, a large like faded blue bottle, and places it in front of you.
Okay, I'll pick it up, kind of inspect it, and I'll say, you know, you were recommended to me by a good friend of mine. I think you might have heard of him before. His name is Cessus Winthrop.
Oh, that jackass!
Yeah. He's a jackass. Okay, let me write this down.
Pulls out a notebook, writes jackass down, puts it away.
I'm quite literally writing this down. Yes, that's him. He said that you have helped him greatly. And
Helped
is
him by
this the same-
charging him double.
I hear that. Is this the same tonic that you give him?
Hang on a sec.
Oh, okay.
Checks his books. Comes back. Goes, nope.
No.
Nope.
Do you mind if I try that instead? He said
Are
it
you?
works wonder.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, if you
Yes.
say so. And he goes to his shelf.
How much teeth was this old man missing? Seriously.
Probably about half.
Oh God.
He he grabs a bottle, and you're seeing him do this right in front of you. And he puts about like 2 or 3 shots of whiskey in the bottom of a bottle, and then fills the rest up with water and hands it to you.
Oh, good.
I see.
Interesting. Yadomir is just smiling this whole fucking time. Like, oh, this is neat. I'll just kind of put some coin on the table. Maybe a little too much for what 2 fucking shots of whiskey is
Oh.
worth.
Hang on. He
Oh.
takes the blue bottle that he gave you the first time, and he puts up a like a clear, a way better quality bottle in front of you. This is the real stuff. This'll fix you right up. You'll pass out in 3 seconds, guaranteed.
Ooh.
Oh. Now,
Kidnapping.
hypothetically, how much noise would it take to wake somebody out of this?
Well, depends on how much it hit you, really. It's you know, who are we talking here? You talking about you? You skinny ass bastard? You probably go out in half that time.
As soon as you said that, my microphone went battery low. I'm like, oh no. Uh, Okay. And now, another hypothetical question: would there be considered a lethal dose of this?
I assume you drink the whole bottle or you're not waking back up.
It's a little too much. Okay, thank you. That was very helpful.
Sure, come back
I'll,
anytime.
I'll put another coin on the table and leave.
Ooh. He places it in his mouth and he like bends it to see if it's real. Even though it's silver and it's not gold.
Oh, okay.
God damn it, I chipped another tooth, and he walks away.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
I took
I
both
see what
bottles,
happened
by
to
the
his
way.
teeth.
I definitely took both bottles.
Okay.
So I will.
So you have like a decent sleeping potion, and then you have a potent sleeping potion, and you also have a bottle of water mixed in with like 2 shots of whiskey.
So that I am going to mix a recommended amount of the really strong sleeping potion
Okay.
with the bottle of whiskey, but I want to like make it to where the color doesn't change, so it's not so obvious that something's different.
Okay, I'm gonna have you make an intelligence and medicine roll.
Nice. Okay. So that is 5 dice. Ooh, too many. My God, 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, you think you did a pretty good job.
Cool. Okay. Then I will wait for nightfall again,
All right.
and I'll wear something very much different, a little fancier,
Sure. Okay.
and
Is
head back to
Even
the
more see-through expandex.
yes.
how nighttime are we talking? Are we talking like 7 in the afternoon, or are we
Yeah,
talking
like
like
7, 8
late,
o'clock,
late?
the same time that I ended
Sure.
up heading to his place the
Okay.
first time.
So
Um,
you go back to the house? Is that what you said?
Yep.
All right. You get back to the house. Same two guards are on duty. They don't question you because they recognize you from yesterday.
Awesome, fantastic. I'm struggling here trying to plug in my fucking headset. You know what? Hold on one second.
Couldn't do it.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I walk in. I'm gonna walk around again, just to kind of scope the place out, see if anything's different, see if maybe he's walking around.
Sure. You walk around. You do see him. It looks like he is currently in the den. He's by the fire. He's currently reading a book and nursing a cup of wine.
Oh, nice.
He
Did I
is.
get handed a cup of wine again?
It looks like he has. Yes, you did. As soon as you walked into
Nice.
the house, you were handed a cup of wine. It looks like he is. He has a servant that is off, like, out of his sight, but it's there in case he wants anything. There was also a guard right next to him as well, just in case
Okay.
he something happens. You also notice that he has a beautiful looking Reaper Diclave, which is basically imagine a beautiful ornate like katana, and it's made out of a red jade,
Mm.
and it's at his side.
So he's pretty built.
You finally get a look at him. He looks kind of elderly. Like, he looks what we would appear as like 50, like pushing 60, but he looks in good shape for that as well. Like, he's
Hot
got
grandpa.
he's very toned. Yes, hot grandpa. His hair is kind of reddish toned. It's almost flickering a little bit. Like, the light catches it a certain way, and it almost looks like you could have sworn like an ember shot out from his head.
Oh, good.
And
Oh.
he kind of looks up. He sees you. He gives you a nod and continues reading. There are several other people in the room as well as you enter, and there it looks like a little shindig, a little get together. But he doesn't seem to be paying a whole lot of mind to it. It seems more of like an open sort of come and hang out sort of thing.
It's definitely for show. I'm assuming it's for connections and shit. Networking,
Basically,
especially.
yeah, exactly.
Political network.
Yep.
Okay. Do I recognize anybody else in this room?
A few people. You actually see one of your clients who have gotten tattoos from you. Looks like he hasn't noticed you, but um, a couple people you do recognize. Maybe even a member from the guild as well.
Okay. I will mingle
Sure.
a bit with the crowd, the small crowd. Talk to a few people, make light conversation.
Yeah,
maybe
make
talk
small
to
talk
the
and
person.
whatnot.
Yeah, whatever. And then I will make my way over to. Is he sitting at a couch or is he sitting like at a single
He
chair?
is in a very beautiful chair. It looks like it's actually made out of, like, the arms are like like bear claws, and the head of the bear, which looks like a big ass fucking bear, is like over his head. And he's nursing a tall glass of wine. He looks up to you and he nods.
Okay. I'll kind of like hover not over the chair, but like nearby, maybe close enough to where I can lean on the side of it.
Sure.
Kind of look around, sip on my wine. After a moment, you've got a rather nice place here, my good sir.
Thank you. A rather nice look to you.
Thank you.
Does he say it like that too? I hope he fucking does.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
absolutely.
Thank you, Radomir.
I
Well,
believe
Oh,
not the
that's
guy.
Radomir. Okay.
Yeah.
uh, now, does he say that with a specific intent or?
Not real. Like he just notices that you're a good-looking man.
Okay, good.
And like I said, everyone, you're by default in fucking Exalted.
Yeah.
So he kind of, gives you a nod. Don't believe we have met.
I don't think we have either. I'll extend a hand and say Radomir.
Stasis Winthrop. A firm shake.
I'll try to give it back, but like as we pass by, my hand kind of lingers.
Oh. Oh
It's
my.
like the whole like finger touch to kind of like grazes his palm.
I'm gonna have you make a read intentions roll, which will be a
Oh.
perception and socialize roll.
It's getting a little frisky in here, ain't it?
With actual I'm hoping
Are they
not
gonna fuck?
go. No,
Are
that's
you gonna do that on stream?
huh?
Huh?
I'm probably.
If
I'm
it
gonna have
happens,
sex,
we'll
but
fade
yeah.
to black. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like go into damn detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but please
3
do.
successes.
And his shaft entered the Southern Star.
What? I got 3 successes.
3 successes, Zook!
Speaketh on thine barking spider.
Nice.
3 successes. He obviously is attracted to you. And is thinking thoughts.
Mm.
Thoughts would make this very easy.
Yeah. Um.
Enough to
I'll
know
give
that
him-
he has a minor intimacy to pretty boys.
Oh.
Ooh. That was the errand he was running.
That was me. Now I'm gonna be his errand tonight.
Oh gosh.
Anyway. So after that whole small interaction, Radomir will kind of give him a lingering gaze before kind of going back and scanning the crowd. And say, I tried to gather your attention last night, but unfortunately, you were too busy for me.
See, you're the one at my door.
I was.
Yes, I am a busy man with unfortunate responsibilities I must take care of.
I've heard you seem to be well garnished in this community.
Let's cut to the chase. What do you want?
Not much. More or less just a night of fun.
A night of fun. Well, that I certainly could give you. But you'll understand my hesitation to just jump into the mattress with someone I have just met.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
That's not what I've heard.
And what have you heard exactly?
That you tend to target someone just as my stature.
And who told you this?
Friends.
I should like to know these friends.
Oh, I'm sure that you'd get along.
Perhaps I already did.
Give him a wink. That'll get him.
No, he's Radomir is giving him a smile.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a. Okay, you know one of his intimacies now.
Mhm.
So we're gonna try the socialize again. So I'm gonna have you roll a manipulation and socialize roll.
Okay. Many dice. Oh no, I lost! Oh, goodbye!
You will be missed, Dice.
Hold on. Try this again. There we go. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
All right, 6 successes. He looks at you and he smiles back, and you see someone else walk up and said, "Lord Winthrop, good to see you." "Ah, Alexander. You'll excuse me a moment." And he looks to you, and you see him. He cuffs your hand in
Mhm.
both of his, and he smiles, and he whispers into your ear, 12 o'clock. And when he pulls away, you notice that he has given you a key.
Ooh,
And
I'm dangerous.
he walks away, and he begins talking to someone else.
Okay. And then I will linger a little bit more in this area, talk to a couple people again, maybe mostly with the guild camp member, just to kind of make it a little less awkward. And then I will eventually leave the room.
Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna have you, just to kind of cover your ass on this. Make one final manipulation and socialize roll to make yourself inconspicuous.
Okay. Two, three, four successes.
4 successes, no problem at all. No one really questions your presence or you leaving. So do you leave the house or where do you go?
No, I'll linger in the house.
Sure.
Maybe
You
just
d-
hang out in another room for a little bit. How what
Sure.
like how long did this whole interaction take?
That interaction was probably brief, 15 minutes or so with him,
Okay.
and then the party itself, you probably stayed for at least another hour or so just to make sure it wasn't conspicuous. So we're looking at it's probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay. About that time, I haven't seen him like leave the party or anything, have
Nope,
I?
not at all.
Okay. I'm assuming he gave me this key to his bedroom, so I'm gonna fucking go there before he shows up.
All right, so you head upstairs.
Yes.
You go to the double doors, and you notice that the door is locked. You slip the key in, it fits perfectly. You turn it, open up the door, and it leads into. It looks like there's a mud room first. Well, if you want to call it a mud room, it's a room before the actual bedroom, where um, where like there's a desk and a woman is actually sitting at the moment, and she's petting something into a book. She looks up at you, she rolls her eyes, and keeps writing in her book.
Oh, good. She knows exactly why I'm here. This makes it so much easier.
She's just
okay.
like, I'll leave when he gets here.
And what do you do?
I'll just waltz right into the bedroom.
All right, so you open up you go for the door. It's actually it is locked again, so you use your key again, open it up. It's a security measure more than anything.
Yeah.
And of course, he gave you a key.
Yeah.
So you go right in, and you see his lavish bedroom, and it is like, imagine like a master bedroom in like a penthouse suite. There's statues, there's furnishings, there's throw rugs, just everything in here. If you were to consolidate everything in this room, there's probably at least a resources 3 just in this room.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So,
I'm not about that though.
and you see his satin silk bed with it's one of the ones with the 4-point poles, with the curtains and whatnot, and
Yeah.
there is a
Yeah.
window right on the left hand side of it.
Okay. Let's see here. What do I want to do in here? Do I see any kind of liquor cabinets?
Yes, you see
Okay,
looks like there's a wine rack. It's not locked up or anything like that. It's just a a wine rack with several different bottles in it.
Okay. Do I see? Does he have like a nightstand at the end of his
Yes.
bed? I'm going to quietly search through them and see if I can find his current bottle of
Sure.
sleeping potion.
Make an intelligence and investigation roll. Or perception intelligence. Perception investigation, whichever's better for you.
That's definitely intelligence. I don't have any dots in investigation. Why did I do this?
Well, it would be either perception investigation or intelligence investigation.
Yeah, I'm going intelligence.
Wow, I'm lagging.
Yeah, me too. I got 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes is enough. You see right at his bed there is a uh, like a nightstand with like a candle, a lamp right next to it, some papers underneath, and then there is a drawer which you open up and you actually see a bottle that looks very similar to the one that the apothecary gave you inside of his drawer.
Okay, I will take mine and replace it with that one.
Okay, the new brew that you came up with.
Yeah,
How potent did you make that?
enough that it's gonna knock him the fuck out until the next day.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you swap it out. No one sees you. There's no one in the room except for you. And what do you do?
I will set up the room for it to be nice and moody.
Can I just say?
Okay.
Wine and some wine glasses, light some candles.
Can I just say that this sounds like it's going too well?
I will also maybe search through his wardrobe and find a nice nice satin robe to put on.
Okay.
and then Radomir will dress the bed with himself.
All right, so you do so.
Paint me
And
like one of your French girls.
Basically, yeah, that's essentially what's happening.
all right, so he is you get it all set up. You get it like, one of those scenes where there's like he had like rose petals that you set up and like a trail to the bed, and you're waiting like on the bed for him. 12 o'clock hits. Is there anything else you want to do before 12 o'clock?
I will get my ink and stuff set up.
Okay.
I will put it neatly. Can you see under the bed, like easily?
No, there's like sheets and blankets
Okay.
that cover it.
I will set an inkwell and my pen under the bed.
Okay. As you do so, I'm gonna have you make a perception and awareness roll.
Okay. That's not great. That's fine though. I'm rolling a lot of 10s. I got 4 successes off
4
of 3 dice.
successes. As you lift up the blanket and you're about to tuck it in, you see a shadow shift from underneath the bed.
That's strange.
You do.
I look further under the fucking bed.
You look under the bed to see what looks like a young, probably late teens, male who is currently stark ass naked and he is chained to the floor.
What in the fuck?
He has slashes all over his body.
I don't like this.
Really
Nobody
quietly,
likes
I say,
this.
"Can I help you?"
He doesn't say anything.
Does he look afraid?
He looks terrified.
He's not bound or anything, is he?
Oh, he is chained to the floor.
Yeah, he said that.
Well, I mean, like, is his mouth bound?
No, his mouth is
Or
not
no?
bound.
So he's not gagged.
Doesn't mean any sound. Okay. What time did you say it was at this point?
It is 11, right around 11:30.
Oh, okay. Real quick, I'm gonna say this very quietly to this young man. Real quick, you don't want to be here, correct?
He shakes his head furiously. No.
Okay, all right. He's chained
Yes.
to the floor of the bed.
To the floor. There is a
Okay.
metal like loop that has been put into the floor, and he is chained to it.
Now I see why he might have an issue with the guild. Okay. I will very quietly crawl to the floor.
Okay.
Since there's someone in the other fucking room. And I will attempt to pick these locks.
Larceny. Dexterity, larceny.
Okay. Dexterity, larceny. Oh yay. Alright, that's another 8.
I wish there was like a spectator mode and I could like just spectate what Token is doing.
Right?
I got
There
5
is a
successes.
spectator mode. 5 successes easily. It's a layman's lock. You just it's done.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll get him whatever. I'll find another robe to give him. Is there? You said there's a window in here?
Yes.
Hmm. Is there any place in here that he could easily hide other than under the bed?
He could most definitely hide in one of the closets.
Okay.
Or like an armoire. There's an armoire that's big enough for him. He looks like he's malnutrition now that you're getting a better look at him.
Wow, that's a little fucked up. Okay. Interesting. I will be back for you later tonight.
He
I want you to
nods
hide
in
in here.
understanding.
I want you to hide in here for now.
Nods
And-
quickly.
We will leave in the next few hours. And we just kind of nod at him very nicely and just kind of open the armoire door and, gesture him in.
Yeah, he clasps his hands together in gratitude and just like starts shaking,
Oh my
like
gosh.
very thankfully.
This poor child.
And
Was
he's-
this child's tongue chopped off or something? Because seriously.
And he
I'm not going
go-
to check.
he goes inside of the armoire.
Okay, before I close the door, I will say, if you can close your ears for the next whatever. You know what? Never mind. We're just gonna close the door.
You're about to close the door and he stops for a moment and he just kind of peeks out in a very low, crackly voice like he hasn't used it in like years. You just hear a thank you
You're very welcome.
and the door closes.
I will close the door. Okay. And I'll kind of like lean against it again, and I'll say, "Remember, don't make a sound." And then I will go back to bed and
Okay.
redress the bed with myself.
All right, anything else you want to do before midnight?
No.
Okay. Midnight arrives, almost on the dot, and the door swings open, and you see him. He's already gotten to a silky, like a silky sort of. Hang on, I got a message.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just me.
Um, he's got like a silky, like plush, high class robe on, and he's got a glass of. It's like that glass of champagne of wine just never empties. And you've seen him drinking it all night long. It just never empties because a servant is constantly filling it up for him. And he walks over, he places it onto a nearby stand, and he nods to you
Mm-hmm.
and sits down on the bed.
Give him a very knowing nod back.
All right, so he is going to attempt to fade to black.
Okay. Sounds
Do
good.
you let him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is going to attempt to fade to black.
Now, he's also going to try to restrain you because he's kinky. Do you let him?
Define restrain.
He is going to put you in chains and cuff you to the bedpost.
Both of my hands?
Both of your hands.
It seems like a bad plan.
I will convince him. I'm gonna try to convince him to do just one hand, by giving him the satisfaction of letting me use the other for what he wants.
Okay, I'm not going to make you roll it. He
Okay.
he agrees.
Okay, cool.
I was calling mashed potatoes at that very moment because I really wanted to laugh, but I was gonna choke and die instead.
And you fade to black.
Good.
So it's very good sex. It is exalted sex. He's got very high performance. So it's
I also have very high performance.
you know how
A
it gets,
rating of 1 to 5. What do you give this man?
you know how probably a 6 because he's exalted.
Wow.
So you know how it gets warm when you're having sex? Well, there are literal char marks in the sheets and blankets
Oh,
because he's
that's a little-
fire-blooded.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
And he, almost on cue, grabs his medicine, he takes it, and he lays down and he goes to sleep.
Good. I'll wait maybe an hour into him falling asleep to make sure that he's fucking asleep.
Sure. Okay.
I'll kind of run my fingers over his face to make sure he's not responding.
There is no response.
Awesome. Time to work.
All right.
Gonna grab my my inkwell and the
As you're reaching
pen.
for the inkwell, you notice that it is slightly illuminated.
What's illuminated?
The inkwell, as you're reaching for it underneath his bed, it's almost
Oh.
like a candle is being shown to it.
Oh. Not supposed to do that, right?
Not usually.
Okay. I'm gonna inspect it. That's weird.
As you're looking around, it's the light source is moving with your head, and that is when you realize it is coming from your head. As you feel this sort of sense of like invigoration over you, like you had just woken up from the best sleep of your life, and
Are you gonna
Well, I
fucking
did just
exalt
have
after
sex.
having sex?
I had exalted while having sex.
but you can feel the power, the essence surging within you. And then you focus for a moment, and the light is just extinguished because of your power as a night cast, and it just fades away. You are now solar exalted. What do you do?
Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna grab my fucking inkwell. Get to work.
Okay, what are you doing? What are you
I'm
tattooing?
going to. So, how is he laying? First off.
He is laying on his side. One hand is probably underneath his pillow, and the other hand is at his side.
I'm going to very carefully try to move him to where he's on his back.
Sure.
He doesn't respond any.
You move him on his back.
Okay, cool. So then I'm going to climb on top of him, so I have a very good
Round two.
perception of yes. No. Basically, I just want clear view of his chest.
Okay.
Is he hairy?
He's got like that middle-aged sexy sort of
With,
chest
like,
hair.
tuft of hair right in his
Yeah,
middle?
like
Okay.
right where it belongs.
Damn it.
I see that, Dave.
What? You see what? See anything?
No, not allowed.
Anyway, I'm okay. So I'm going to apply the tattoo right. So you know where your sternum is?
Okay. Yep.
Right there, except like just right underneath of where his pecs are, like right in that middle. That's where
Okay.
the tattoo is going to be applied.
All right. You begin doing his tattoo. It is coming out very, very well. It takes about an hour to get the outline. And I'm gonna go ahead.
It's going to have. So you know what? Do you know what typology is?
Typology?
Basically, like hiding or like kind of using words to make pictures.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm basically going to do that, but with guild cant.
Okay.
And it's going to basically say child molester.
Oh.
But it's gonna look real fucking pretty.
Okay.
And I'm going to click on. I'm going to put the symbol, the guild cant symbol that I need to, so he can be easily distinguished. Like in the middle of it, and I guess I'll use this charm
Sure. Which
to
one?
do that. The letter within a letter.
Oh,
but
okay,
You
yeah,
gave
yeah.
it for me for performance instead.
Right.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you do 2 rolls. The first one is going to be a dexterity and stealth roll.
Okay. Dexterity, stealth. That would be a good old 8 dice.
Kai, you're gonna be my witness.
Okay. I don't like these dice, Dave.
I know you don't.
For 5 successes.
The suspense is killing me.
And charm to make double nines.
Road.
That's okay.
Cool.
All right, now make a performance
Delhi.
roll to see how good it is.
What was it?
A performance,
Performance.
roll, which would be
Okay.
dexterity and performance to see how well you do.
Okay. Now I get a specialization. What does that do?
Specialization will add 1 to your dice pool.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's not that. Three successes.
Okay, so 3 successes. It comes out great. It is exactly what you intended, and right as you're putting in the last dot, you feel a cold blade go right to your throat, and a very angry-looking dragon-blooded who is placing it at your throat.
Someone different or the dude?
Oh, it's him. He woke up.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
And he pushes you down onto the bed. He's going to essentially grapple you.
Okay.
What do
Can
you
I
do?
fight that?
It's going to be an opposed grapple. So first of all, we're going to do a joint battle roll.
Okay.
I really don't want to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go right to the opposed grapple. I don't want to go into battle with. I don't want every. Your chapter has already gone way longer than I meant for it to go. So I'm just gonna have. I'm just gonna have him roll his grapple.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. You know that you will not be able to take this guy in combat.
Oh, I absolutely don't.
You absolutely know that you will not win in combat with this guy.
I'm not a combat
You are
type of person.
You are smart enough to know that. Okay, so for okay, he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. You're gonna have to roll a dexterity and brawl roll.
Oh, good.
Remember, you can spend willpower to give yourself an automatic success, and if you have any like specialties, that might apply as well. Which brawl I know isn't your strong suit, so
Yeah, I don't have any of that. Should I spend a willpower? Yeah, you know what? I guess I will. I'll spend a willpower and give myself. So that's 3 successes.
Okay.
So what happened?
3 successes total.
Mhm.
Okay. So you are being forced down at this moment. He is on top of you. He has a bit of like saliva dripping from his mouth that actually like hits your abdomen, and it actually sizzles from the heat. And he
Oh, I don't
looks
like that.
very angry at you. And then you feel you actually hear the armoire smash open, and a chair is grabbed by the slave, who slams it over the back of the dragon blooded, and he basically lets your grasp go, turns around, and sees him. What do you do?
Oh, did he let go of me?
Yeah, he let go of
I'm
you
gonna
to
slip the
turn
fuck out.
around. All right, so
I'm slipping the fuck out. I'm
There's-
grabbing the child.
Okay, so it's going to be opposed Dex and Athletics rolls. It's going to be your Dex and Athletics versus the Dragon Blooded's Dex and Athletics. I would recommend you stunting this in some way. And what stunting is basically describing your actions. The better it's described, the more of a bonus you can get. You can get either 2, 3, or 4 extra dice to your roll, depending on how good it is.
Okay. So the way that so Radomir is going to basically use the covers, the blankets, to blind him.
Okay.
Just wrap that shit around him. I'm going to kind of like slink around him and essentially have the blankets wrap as much of around him as I can, so that he can't see and he has to take time to get them off of him before
Okay.
I
I
jump
will
off
have
the
that.
bed.
That will be a level 1. A level 1 stunt, so you will get 2 extra dice to this.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You said it's Dex and Athletics.
Yes.
That was bad. That's only two successes.
The R not fucking actually do it. He gets 1 success.
Oh, thank
All
fucking
right.
God.
So so where are you going? Are you going out the door? Are you
I'm
going out the window? Where are
I'm
you
jumping out
going?
the window.
All right. So the window is
I grabbed the
closed.
child, by the way.
Are you like just smashing through the window?
Yes.
All right, so you grab a hold of the child and you jump out of the window. There's a as you do so, you feel an intense heat as an explosion launches at you. As you're doing so,
Whoa.
you jump in. You're gonna fall to the ground. I'm gonna have you take 1 automatic bashing as
Okay.
you hit the ground and you roll with the child. The child seems to be okay, and you pick him up and you just get the fuck out of there.
Yep. I'm just dart.
And you disappear into the night. And that is where we'll end your prelude that ended up being way longer than I wanted to be.
Do you like? I do have a kind of a question. Like,
Sure.
I don't know. I always expect things to go longer than expected.
Well, what's your question?
Oh well, kind of like, did you not expect things to go longer than expected? 'Cause
Not
I
that
always do.
long. Not that long. 'Cause, well, there was a lot of like, I thought you were just gonna. My thoughts were you were gonna wait till it's night, sneak in, do it, get out.
Hell no.
But you ended up taking a lot
I
of
gotta
other
make
steps
everything
along
fucking
the way.
Listen, Radomir's so goddamn extra. I don't know what you expected.
That's okay. That's okay. We're done. We're done yours. Who wants to go next?
Me.
Not me.
All right. So,
This is gonna be interesting. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna grab some watermelon tea. I shall
Sure.
return.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, buy watermelon tea then, and then you'll have it.
I don't even know where to get that.
Look online.
I'm gonna do that.
hey, why is it not playing?
Cause I got sick and tired of your bullshit.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
There we go.
There it goes.
I get special music.
So was he, but I didn't hit play. All right, so you are currently in the air. You're on a trade vessel heading back to Iceholm, and it was just a basic sort of point A, point B sort of trade that you actually got to captain in this situation. You see
Ooh.
the tall buildings of Iceholm in the distance, and the landing pad of where basically the dock ports in to the airship. The plank is drawn, and you wrap the rope to the side to basically anchor it to the what's it called to the actual building, and a couple people meet you there. They do more sufficient chains and whatnot, lock it up, and you head into Iceholm. A couple people notice you. They smile. They nod at you, and you go back to your home at Iceholm. At which point you are able to
My home at Iceholm.
your home in Iceholm. It's a home away from home in Iceholm.
It's an igloo in the backyard.
It's just an igloo.
Shut the fuck up.
That's racist. Okay, so you head to your home and um, you get a full night's rest. At which point, the next morning, you hear a knock at your door, accompanied by your dogs barking.
Oscar, come here.
Yes, I have dogs. So am I like waking up to a knock?
No, we'll say it's later in the it's later in the day, probably like noon or so. You've already done your morning rituals. You've already eaten for the day. Everything's,
Rituals.
yeah. You have morning rituals.
Oh, you mean like brushing teeth and like eating breakfast and
Yes.
stuff like that, or like
Yes.
actual rituals?
Not actual rituals, no.
I
Time to
Go
chat
answer
to
the door.
dogs.
go answer the door, as
Okay.
any good igloo living person would do. It's not really an igloo. Let's establish that.
Okay. So the door opens and you see Felix. Felix Harmon, one of your cohorts who has gone on several voyages with you. And he looks at you and he looks a little distraught. He says, Alan, I need you.
Oh, well, I'm here,
Is it Alan? Is that how you pronounce it?
Alan. Yeah.
Okay. And he pulls out his flame piece
Oh,
and he sets it on the table.
what's a flame piece?
A flame piece is basically so to back up a little bit, you have not invented your guns yet.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
A flame piece is basically a pistol that shoots a gout of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
So it's like one of those flame rod things that we talked about before, but just like a smaller.
Yes. So a flame wand is a rifle that shoots gouts of fire.
Yes.
A flame piece is a pistol that shoots a gout of fire. It's a smaller gout.
Cool.
He
Gotcha.
puts it on the table and he slides it forward. Hey, Pops gave me that. You think you can fix it?
How bad does it look?
It looks like it fell from quite a height, and it took some substantial damage.
So Alan is just they're gonna give it a couple of like winces, but all in an act. They are for sure confident that they can fix this. So they roll up their sleeves, crack their knuckles, do like the neck crack thing, and well, get to work on it.
How much is this gonna cost me?
Okay, so how acquainted am I with this person? You
Is
said that they were like
Haslante
with
with you?
me.
He's in the Haslante League.
Okay.
You've probably gone on a few voyages. How close do you want to be with this guy?
Have I captained him?
Yes.
Where or do I get to decide where in the ranks he was?
Sure.
Or I'm okay. We're going to establish that this man was probably a first hand of mine on a couple of journeys.
Okay.
So we're probably pretty close. And I'll do it for free.
He looks at you and, all right, well, I'm buying you dinner.
Ooh.
Fair enough. Better be steak.
Whatever the fuck you want, just repair this damn thing, and I will be in your debt.
You got it.
He nods
I
and
start furiously getting to work.
he leaves. So
Yeah.
you're in your study and you're looking at this. It looks like the casing itself has been, there's a chip of it actually broken off. It looks like there's something that has been lodged inside of it.
Like almost as if something was like shoved into the barrel.
Something's got shoved into the barrel upon inspection.
So not like it got jammed, but something got shoved the fuck in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I inspect it.
All right, so you're inspecting it safely, obviously,
Yeah.
um, and
No, I
looking
want to do it
through.
dangerously this time.
You're gonna look just straight into the barrel,
Fuck yeah.
and you're going it over. And the first thing you do is you start making a new casing for it, basically to go over it, fix the cracks, weld it into place, and you're looking into whatever's lodged in, and you take a cleaning rod and you kind of push it into it, and that's when you feel the heat first, followed by the explosion as something propels out of it and blasts right by your head into the wall
Oh.
behind you. And basically, you see in the wall there's a little projectile stuck into the wall. You're looking at the gun. You're looking
Eureka.
at the wall, and then
Is this my
suddenly
Eureka moment?
there's an epiphany that strikes over you, and you're like, "Oh my gods!"
Yeah.
And then you
What?
notice there is a glowing, there's a shimmering all around you, but you don't pay any attention to it. You immediately take these. It's like you're on autopilot at this moment, and you slap papers on the desks in front of you. You start sketching out designs, and uh, you just like start taking metal pieces. You go down to the forge. People try to talk to you, and you ignore them. You go
Yep.
into your shop. You lock yourself in, and you just start working on this projectile that you have been making. And for what seems like, maybe 2 days, 3 days or so, to you, you come out with your first viper, and you're looking at it, and it is perfect.
Now-
You go ahead.
Oh, it's perfect.
It looks
It's not like a prototype.
well, it is a prototype. The vipers are prototypes.
Well, that's fair. Okay.
So you're looking at your work, and we agree that it's 4 shots. Which one is 4 shots? Because I see 4 on the
Yes.
on the
Yeah,
counters.
yeah. Each
And-
is 4. It's probably written down here too. Somewhere,
And
maybe?
you flip it open, and close it up, and you have like you've set up like a sack of potatoes with a target, and you just start shooting, and it seems very accurate. And that's when you notice your room is fully illuminated and has been this entire time. Even though there's no torches, there are no lights of any kind that are lit. You're looking at yourself, and there is this glorious sunlight coming off of you. What do you do?
That's a good question.
It's like
I
that's neat.
start kind of like I'm like looking around, and I'm looking at myself, and so like I just see kind of this glowing on like just my arms, and just like realize that
All over you.
I'm just glowing.
You essentially went totemic.
Oh, good.
Oh, do I see the thing?
You
Do I see my thing behind me?
That has faded. That has since faded. So no,
That is,
you do not
okay,
see
so
your
it was there, and I just didn't
It
even
was
fucking
there.
notice,
You
probably.
didn't notice it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I've had a good day, but I didn't think it was that good. I load some. How many? I want to load more bullets into the gun and just keep shooting it again. Like I'm just not. Alan would not be super because he just doesn't know what's. Well, they don't know what's going on, and they don't care because they have a gun.
And that's we're gonna have you make a perception and awareness roll.
Okay, cool. Perception. Awareness. It's a 2. So that's a 5.
Okay.
5, 5, 5. Nope. I wanted to click you and move you. Hello. Come on. Okay, what are successes?
Successes, anything 7 and above. Yes.
That's the 10.
Yep. 10 is 2.
That's the 1. Oh, that's 2. So 2. 2.
2 successes. All right. So 2 successes. You've been firing off rounds, and you didn't notice there was a pounding at your door, as you hear. The doors fly open, and you see it looks like there is like 2 other people with a battering ram, and they're looking at you, and they point angrily and yell, "Anathema!"
Oof. That's a big oof.
What? What did they yell?
Anathema?
Anathema, which means demon.
Oh, because I made a gun?
Cause
No, because you're glowing.
you were
Oh.
glowing. You walked by people completely glowing in your fugue state. So they're pointing
that's
at
right, I probably
you,
look weird, don't I?
and they're calling you an anathema, and they have their weapons drawn, and they look like they're about to attack. What do you do?
Oh, fuck. Do I know these people?
Yeah.
Do they know me?
of them? You know of them, yeah.
Okay, I know. Oh,
They're guards of the city.
Oh. What
And that's
do I
when
do?
you look at yourself and you're glowing the golden glow. You don't even need anything in a cult to know that that's generally indicative of a demon.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh gosh, what the fuck do I
That's
do?
unfortunate.
Uh. Well, I don't. How many did you say were there? 2, 3 people?
2 people with the battering ram, and you see a few other people kind of
Okay.
running up behind them that are about to catch up.
What do I fucking do? Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm equipped for this.
You have a gun in your hand.
I have a gun. I don't want to kill people. Like, I live with these people. They know me. I know who they are.
Shoot the kneecaps.
Yeah,
Not lethal.
you could just shoot them in the feet.
I'm gonna do a bluff shot
Where?
towards them
Look at
to
their
scare
feet.
them. No. Okay, so 2 people with a battering ram like charged into my house, workshop, whatever, something.
Yes.
There's something on a wall, maybe something hanging near them. Nothing like big that's gonna hit them.
Okay.
But I want to shoot like that. So
Alright.
I point the gun and I shoot the gun and the bullet hits the thing which makes it fall or something.
We'll say there's like
Kinda scary.
a sign, like you have
Yes.
like a workshop sign outside so people know
Yes.
where your workshop is. You hit that, and it basically breaks the sign, a chunk of it off, and falls to the ground. It doesn't hit them. However, they are freaked out by the sudden explosion and then this thing falling from the heavens, as far as they know, and they drop the battering ram on their feet. They reel back in pain and they fall back, basically out of the combat. These people are what's known as extras. So imagine
Cool.
Exalted being like a movie where you have different acts, you have
Okay.
different chapters, you have casted people, basically people who are like signature characters. Then you've got the heroics, and then you've got the people in the background that don't
Yeah.
mean a damn thing. That's what these people
Okay.
are. So there are special rules to deal with extras. You can actually stunt off of extras. You can
Oh,
you
cool.
can kill an extra in a stunt. Like they are nothing. So they are basically
That's so
out of
cool.
combat because a battering ram fell on them. What do you
Oh,
do?
okay.
You have 5 more people who have drawn their weapons and they are charging at you. What do you do?
They're charging me?
They are charging at you. They're still a good distance away. So as far as the range increments go, you've got short range. You've got close range, short range, medium range, long range, extreme range are the different ranges in Exalted. So
Uh-huh.
they are currently at medium range, and they are running
Gotcha.
towards your shop. What do you do?
Okay, so I can just like see them through the door.
Yes,
Well,
the doors
what
are
used
wide
to
open.
be my door.
Yeah, what used to be your door.
So now, real quick, is this taking up ammo, or since these are like extras, we're just shooting shit?
That did take up 1 point of ammo.
That took up 1 ammo.
Yep.
Okay, but I want to mark that if that happened.
And it should be noted you only have 1 of the guns right now.
Yes, I did pick up on that.
Okay.
Okay. People are charging at me. They have weapons. They're scared. I'm glowing. Can I stop glowing?
Um.
I'm not thinking about that. Never mind.
Okay.
Alan, what, like, they didn't understand that they were glowing in the first place. I
Right.
don't think they're gonna waste energy trying to think about what's happening when they know they're probably not gonna be able to figure it out by themselves. What is in between? What can I see through the door that is in between me and the people charging at me?
Between the door and the people.
Yeah, so like are there barrels on the street? Are there more signs? Sure. Okay.
See, in Exalted, you can actually make that stuff up.
Just
So
make it?
if I don't declare it, you can say, "This is how it is." You can basically
what about-
assist storytell with me, and that's what stunting is.
Okay. Well, as they're charging towards me, and I can see this through my door, I spot a cart going, like, kind of like sort of leaving. So it kind of crosses like where their line would be coming towards me. Like it goes in front of them, but it's not in front of them, it's just like past them. And so like I shoot the gate on the cart, which like makes luggage fall out
Okay, so basically you,
in front of them.
I'm gonna have you actually make an archery roll for that. So I'm gonna have you roll dexterity and archery, and I'm going to give you a 2-point stunt. So that means you get 3 extra dice.
3 extra dice. Okay, so 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 3 is 10.
Yes. You could just like highlight one copy. Oh no, you can't do that. Never mind.
Yeah, Zook, I don't have permissions.
Sorry, maybe I should just give you all permission, but then you just fuck with all my shit.
I will flip all of the things on the table. It will happen.
Really
I won't.
would though.
Just flip the table itself.
No, I don't want to do that. It's gonna take too long. That didn't feel much like a roll. It felt kind of laggy.
Yeah,
like,
we're lagging
Like
pretty
most
badly.
of these
Yeah, we're a
dice
little
here
laggy.
just like didn't roll.
So
They
go
just
for
kind of dropped.
What I would do. That's why I think the R, because we're
Hit the
lagging.
R.
Hit the R a bunch
Okay.
of times so it actually gets some distance. There you go. All right. So anything that's a 10, that's a 7 or above is 1 success,
1,
and 10's count as 2.
2, 3, 4, 5,
I'm counting 8.
6, 7, 8. Yep, 8. 8
Okay.
successes.
So, 8 successes as you fire. It just so happens that there was a flammable liquid inside of there,
Okay.
and there's a little
wanna kill people.
explosion as like the luggage falls out, and it doesn't like kill anybody because you're not trying to
Good.
kill anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to kill people.
But it blasts outwards. Everyone is knocked back. The cart is basically in ruins, in between you and the people trying to get you. Enough that you could get out of your shop and book it if you wanted to.
Yeah, okay, so that's definitely happening because that's what I was like trying to lead up to.
I
But
have
also,
feeling.
I want to say that I'm like very freaked out because I still don't fully understand exactly like
Right.
what's happening, and so like I don't know if like my gun just did that or like because I don't think I knew what was in those barrels.
Right.
So I'm just like I'm like okay, and then I sprint.
Okay. And you sprint past a bunch of other people. There's a few other guards that are trying to catch up to
I'm
you.
trying to stop glowing too. Like I'm like trying to breathe to like calm down to maybe stop glowing.
You are no longer a bonfire, but you have this like glow, like this sort of glowish outline because another scene has
Gotcha.
passed. So you can't will the glow to go away.
Okay,
You actually
Chinese.
have to, yeah, it goes away with time, or if you
Okay,
expend it into like a charm or something, which I don't think you
gotcha.
have any right now because you just exalted. But you keep booking
Chinese.
it,
Yep, I'm fucking going as
and
fast as I can.
you just take off out of the city and into the tundra of the surrounding ice home territory. Um,
So
Go ahead.
here's a question.
Yes.
Now, did I like happen to see myself in a mirror? Well, I guess I don't know. You can't really tell me that. Um, did I look physically different, or did
Uh,
people know who I was?
we'll say that as you were leaving the city, as you were running, you did catch a glance at your reflection, and you notice you look like you. It's just you've got this aura about you.
Well, does that fucking mean that people know who I am? Shit.
It's possible
Oh.
that people might put two and two together. You're not sure. It's not, or you don't really have a whole lot of time to process that right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
And
That's stuff I'm going to be thinking about later.
okay, so you book it.
Yeah, I'm booking.
All right, so you get out of the city. You run for what feels like an eternity. Um, and you get behind a large, like, rock, a snow-covered rock, and you finally stop and catch your breath. And that's when you basically are looking yourself over, looking at your hands, looking at your body. You see some ice in front of you, in the ground, in the f- yeah, in the ground in front of you, and you look and you can see the shimmering outline as you're looking at yourself with this demonic glow, what you've been led to believe as a demonic glow, even
I
though
see.
you don't feel like a demon, you feel invigorated. And then
I start hyperventilating a little bit.
start hyperventilating, and that's when the dim glow finally fades completely. You are back to your
Stop
normal self.
I stop hyperventilating.
I can hyperventilate on command.
Yes,
That's just how that felt.
it's my secret power that has been passed down for generations. It's one of my charms.
But how do you do that? That's my secret. I'm always anxious.
I,
Oh my gosh.
All right. So
Um,
what do
yeah.
you do? You're outside of your city.
I don't know what to do. What do I have on me? Do I have any of my shit?
You have whatever you were wearing in your workshop.
Okay, so I have a house, and the house is separate than my workshop.
Yes.
And then I have the place that I go to work with airships.
Yes.
I go. I go to.
I go
Shut the
back
fuck up. What'd you
Like,
say?
nothing ever fucking happened. You just go back to work.
I might. That actually might not be. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go home.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go home. It's like kind of sneakily. I'm gonna try to like take a path that like
Sure.
people don't normally take. So like
Sure.
maybe that they don't see me.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you make just a basic dexterity and stealth roll. Just one success will do it. You can even spend a willpower if you want to bypass the roll completely.
I'll do that.
All right. Yeah. So just
Spent
tick
a
off.
willpower.
Yeah. Just tick off one of them underneath.
I did.
All right. So you know Ice Home very well. You've lived here your whole life, and you take the back roads. You recognize who the guards are in the city right off the bat, and you go the other way. You dart through the back alleyways. You avoid people that would recognize you if you would walk up to them, and then you find your house.
I don't see any like posters or anything of me hung up anywhere, do I?
It's a little short for that. A little short time for that.
Wow, that would have been real fucking fast.
They wouldn't
if
have had
happened.
time for that.
Okay, that's fair. You're right.
All right, so you get to your house, unlock the door, you head in, and you close the door. You were home.
Good. Okay, so questions.
Yes.
What is the place that I know of that has the most information in the safest place that I can think of? So like
Probably.
Ice Home might not feel super safe right now because of what just happened. So yeah,
So you're thinking somewhere's outside of Icehold?
potentially. Like I was obviously like people don't like me, and I think that it's not that they don't like me. Where does Felix live in relation to me? We're next door neighbors. I'm just gonna say that we're best friends. Not really best friends,
Sure,
but
yeah. Felix can live right next door if you want.
yeah. So I'm gonna go over to his house and
Sure.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
All right, you knock on the door, and there is his wife answers.
What's his wife's name? I would know this.
We'll say
Wilma.
sure, Wilma. She opens the door. Oh, Alan, come in, come
Huh.
in.
So I will mention. So the first thing I would have done was fixed the gun or the flame piece because that's what I was asked
Yes.
to do, and then I would have whatever. So I have that with me. I also probably have some supplies. That's why I wanted to go home. I didn't mention that, but I like just like a small pack, not like a ton of stuff, but like maybe enough for a small journey if that sounds
Sure. So
reasonable.
you before you knocked on the door at Felix's, you gathered supplies that you could leave if you needed to.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, just in
Okay.
case I get chased out again
Gotcha.
a
All right.
second
So,
time. So, hi, Wilma. Is Felix here?
not at the moment. He stepped out for a tad. But you're welcome to stay and wait for him. Can I get you something to eat?
Uh, sure. What do you have cooking?
Well, I've got some potatoes, some meat,
Love
carrots.
potatoes.
All right.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
You just sit down a tick. Would you like an ale?
After my day, I would love one.
Coming right up, dearie. Have a seat.
I sit.
All right.
I sit.
So she prepares a meal. You know Wilma's cooking. It's great as usual. She slides
Aw.
it in front of you.
Fuck
And
yeah.
this little tad of normalcy after this, what just happened, is it almost makes you like forget what happened. It lets you drop your guard a little bit.
Yeah, I'm eating like a monster, by the
And
way.
Yes, you feel hungry, hungrier than you've ever been in your life.
Oh,
Oh.
well, that's not even why. Alan just eats like a monster.
Okay. Oh, quite the appetite as usual, I see. And that's when you hear the doors open,
My head shoots up,
and you see Felix walks in,
and then I let out a deep sigh.
and he closes
A
the
deep
door. He's like, he locks the door behind him, and
Uh-oh.
he like sits down.
No, we're friends. It's fine.
Wilma, you stay put. Felix, did you hear what was going on outside?
So, I Felix, you mean Alan?
Sorry, Alan. He's Felix.
So-
I'm Felix. You're Alan.
So
I'm a little confused here.
my mouth, my cheeks are like filled, and I'm like chewing vigorously, and like my eyes are big because like I want to talk to Felix, but I have food in my mouth, but like that's the focus of my attention right now, and I have the flame piece that he wanted, and I fixed it, and so like I was shoveling food in my mouth, and he comes in, and I see, and then like I'm looking at him, and I'm like fishing around for the flame piece, and like I grab it, and I just like hold it out with both hands, and I'm barely really listening to him talk because I'm just so focused on giving him the flame piece that I fixed.
You hand him the flame piece, all fixed up, and he looks
Yeah.
at it and goes, "What's this?"
Well, big swallow. Well, that's your flame piece. I just fixed it up like you asked me to.
My flame piece. I gave you this flame piece 2 hours ago.
Yeah, you did. I worked really hard.
He's silent. He's just staring at you. And he puts it he puts it on the table in front of him. You know what? after the day I've had, I'm not even gonna question it.
You had a bad day too.
There's a demon running around our city, apparently. Have you been hearing the
demon?
commotion outside? They're saying
No.
a streaking golden fireball is charging through our city.
This is where it all hits Alan again, and he just like drops for a second, and he his eyes just staring straight, their eyes staring straight forward. I'm doing a really poor job at this.
That's all right.
And just like a kind of a blank expression for just kind of like a split second after Felix says this, and then Alan's like, "Oh, I heard some commotion in my workshop, but I was so focused, I didn't really bother to look. Is that like what a demon? What else did you hear? Anything like? Do we know where it came from?"
No idea. I mean, there must have been some sort of I don't know where fucking demons come from. Do I look like a scholar? You're the one who knows shit.
I know things about machines. I guess I could maybe find out, but it's not what I really look for. So Alan at this point sort of has a small sigh of relief because it doesn't seem like there's any information around him being sprinkled in there. There's like no mention of the workshop, no mention of Alan themselves or anything. So they're a little relieved at this point.
Okay. So
A little relieved.
you're a little relieved. Felix is just like shaking his head like, you oblivious fucker. And he just shakes his head and he starts eating his food, but everything seems calmed down.
I get seconds and I
Okay.
eat with it.
She happily gives it to you.
Fuck yeah.
Right, so you have a really well meal. You socialize a little bit. You almost forget what happened until you realize that there's still your viper in your hand. Well,
Okay.
I would say probably on your lap. Not because
Yeah,
you've been
somewhere.
eating, but
Yes.
you have it on you.
Oh yeah, no, I would have thrown that fucker to the side for a spoon in a heartbeat.
And that's when it kind of connects. It felt like you were in your workshop for days. But it's only been 2 hours.
2 hours. Oh yeah. So I just get big eyes again. I'm just kind of staring at the viper and like realizing what happened.
You finally got yourself one, I see.
Kind of, Alan does a bit of a choked swallow because they're surprised, sort of just by being talked to while in that intense state. Yeah, Felix, I saw yours, I was working on it, and it just seemed really neat. I don't think I'll use it maybe a whole lot, but it seemed
what,
fun to have around.
Not only did you have time to fix my flame piece, but you had time to go to the market and buy a new one without seeing what happened outside?
Well, no, I must admit I've actually had this one for a little while. I just never carried it around. It stayed in my workshop as sort of a showpiece that I kept in the cabinet for a long time.
You know what? Sure. Do you want another beer?
Yeah.
He pours
Yes,
you a beer. He drinks on himself. Like, whatever. He's
No,
like,
we cheer, and then we chug it.
all right.
That's what happens.
You clink steins together, and the foam kind of splashes a little bit. You get a couple eye rolls from Wilma, and yeah, you drink.
She's probably just sitting on the couch and being like, yeah, men.
Yeah, men. Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna have to clean that later. All right, so what do? You finish eating.
Oh, there's more.
You're good. You're good.
which is what do I do? I think I'm gonna chance it a little bit. So like I'm gonna put my hood up, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to sort of conceal just a little bit, but not like a ton.
Sure.
But I'm gonna go to the airship docks.
Okay.
I want to go just scope around down there a little bit. Also, potentially, like, kind of help clear my head because I like airships and they fly and they're cool. So I'm just going to go there. It's kind of like maybe a small place of sanctuary. And I know my workshop is not in a great state, but I don't know that. Wink, wink.
You actually have to pass your workshop to get there, and
Well, I'm going to act really surprised.
you see like the just devastation that was that was like done to this place. It looks like it's being torn apart by guards. They're looking all around, and are you trying not to be seen?
Fuck, I don't know what to do. Like, you know what? I would probably be sort of like trying not to really be recognized. Like,
Sure.
not necessarily like seeing, like, I'm not like in the middle of the street doing like do, like being sneaky.
Yeah.
But I just like I have my hood up because it's cold. It's always cold. It's always really fucking cold.
It is.
So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just sort of concealing in all of the cold and just kind of walking and yeah, kind of like that.
Right, there is a pretty substantial crowd gathered around your workshop at this point. You're just another face in the crowd. Do you like stay and watch, or do you slip on by?
I think I slip on by.
Okay, so you keep going, and you eventually make it to the airship base.
I look for my mentor.
Sure. Fuck, what was your mentor's name?
I don't know if we had a name.
I don't know if we did. Got it open. Exalted. And
How do you spell Felix? F-E-I-L-X? F-E-L-I-X?
Phelyx.
F-H?
PH.
P-H, okay.
ELYX.
Y-X, okay. Felix, okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks like we did not give him a name.
So
But
his name is Trom.
Trom?
Trom, T-R-O-M.
T-R-O-M. Alright, so Trom.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Okay. Big boy Trom.
Yes.
Do you go? Are you going to his office? What do you?
Oh yeah, I assume.
Going to find.
Yeah.
All right, so you
Yeah,
knock on his office
I go to
door,
find him.
and you hear him. Say, "Come."
I come.
Okay.
Oh, Alan, come in.
I go in. I'm kind of like fiddling with my hands a little bit. Like I'm a little nervous because like I want to ask about some stuff, but like I also don't want to ask about some stuff, but I want to ask
Gotcha,
about
yeah.
some stuff.
Oh, he kind of gives you this look, and eventually, after a moment of silent awkwardness, he goes, "What?"
What happened at my workshop? There's a crowd. I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to get in the way. You're pretty well informed. I wanted to know if you heard anything.
Well, it only just happened maybe an hour or two ago. From what I hear, there was some sort of, everyone keeps saying golden fireball, and just crashed into your shop. And there was loud noises like a roaring of some sort.
Crashed into my shop?
crashed into your shop or out of your shop. I don't know. The story hasn't really been adding up. I think people just got drunk and are seeing shit, personally.
Well, do you think people got drunk and attacked my shop? I wasn't
Yeah,
working within
probably.
fire. Well, I guess I do a lot of work with fire now that I think about it, but it wasn't me.
No one, no one, no one thinks it is.
Whew. Good. I don't know what I would do if people thought I was bad or making things explode on purpose. I try really hard not to do that.
You just got back. You're okay. No one. People know that you just got home. You have lived here your whole life. No one's gonna think you trashed your own damn shop or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad about it.
What do you need? Can I help you with something? You need somebody to help repair? What do you need?
I really appreciate it. I was just trying to get the story straight. I heard some whisperings. Felix told me a little bit, but I figured I'd be able to get a better story from you.
Well, like I said, it just happened. I'm sure I'll hear bits and pieces for the next few days. But
Yeah.
of course, they're gonna call in the Dragonbloods, and they're gonna have they're gonna want an investigation. But
Well, that's nice. That sucks.
I'm sure they'll take care of it.
Do you mind if I take okay, so question time. So there are obviously like decently sized airships. About how like is there one at the docks that I kind of like a smaller one that can sort of be piloted by one person?
Not really. All of the
Not
ships
really.
would require a crew.
Okay, like a big crew.
Yeah,
All right.
unless you make one. Obviously, you can't make one now, but something I'm thinking about.
Yeah. All right, Trom. Well, I'm just gonna go hang out on the ship for a little bit and clear my head.
All right,
I'll be back in a few probably just a few hours, an hour or two.
keep your feet on the ground.
Will do. Can't go much anywhere without people to help.
He,
So I leave the office.
he just goes back
after,
to
like-
his business, and all right, you leave the office. Where do you go?
I go to the ship.
All right, you go to the ship. What ship do you go to?
Um,
The one that you were just on?
Probably. So I'm imagining I probably pilot like different ships depending on like what's
Yeah.
sort of going on. Okay, so like I don't have like a ship.
Yeah, so that was
Um,
the last job was just a small trading vessel. Nothing
Yeah.
really to uh, speak home about. Speak
Yeah.
ice home about.
So yeah, I go onto that ship. I imagine that whatever ship I was like most recently on is probably the one I feel most attached to at the time. I kind of love all airships equally, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just kind of poking around, looking around, inspecting. I probably
Sure.
already know about all this stuff, but I'm just doing it anyway because it's something to kind of like really just sort of let the relief set in.
Okay.
Trom is probably somebody I trust, and him running sort of the trade airship dock. I trust his information
Right.
because he probably hears a lot of it.
There are a few trademen that are kind of cleaning up after the delivery. It's still fairly recent, so they're making sure everything's in order. They're going over the assessment checks and whatnot.
Cool. Yeah, so I just kind of hang out there for a while, and if nothing eventful happens while I'm there, I'll go ahead and probably go back home.
Okay.
Now that I don't feel like an urgent need to maybe leave.
Right.
And as I'm passing the shop, I do sort of like maybe take a glance to see like what else is going on. Sort of keep my ears open to see if I hear anything else, but no like hard investigation of like questioning or interrogating people or
Just
anything
a whole
like that.
lot of the same. Just a whole lot of
Yeah.
the same of what you've already heard.
Okay. Yeah, then I go home.
All right. So you go home. And is there anything else you want to do before you go to bed?
Actually, so how late is it?
We'll say after everything's said and done, the few hours that have gone by, we'll say it's probably getting late. So we're like
Getting
8:30,
later.
9 o'clock or so.
So I am a rich kid. I probably have some amount of study, like a small library or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm kind of assuming that the house that I am in was passed down to me by my father, or passed to me by my. Did I say that right?
Passed down to you from your father.
I inherited it
You
from.
inherited, yes, you inherited
I
your
inherited the
estate.
house.
Yes.
So there's probably some older books, at least from his time, like
Oh, absolutely.
So there's like a mix. So I would probably actually be looking through some books to see if I could find anything out about me becoming glowy.
Sure. I will allow you a investigation, and it's going to be occult.
Okay.
And you're going to get an extra 2 dice because you're using a library.
Extra 2 dice for library. So did you say it was intelligence, occult, and the 2 extra?
Yes.
Okay, so I have specializations in occult, or
Okay.
well, 1 specialization. Does it
What is the specialization?
essence?
Essence? Yes, I will say that applies here.
Okay, so do I get an extra die for that?
Yes.
Or how does it? Okay, so I get an extra 1. So I have 5 intelligence, one occult as it stands, and then 1 for the specialty. So that's 7,
Okay.
plus 2 more for the library is 9.
Okay. So 9 dice.
So let's move this one off to the side. Oh, we want to do R. Oh, so you said anything above a 7, right?
Yes, anything above a 7, 10s or
4.
2s.
4.
4 successes?
Yes.
Alright, so 4 successes, it takes you the rest of the night to get any information, but you read up on demons, and none of them's fitting the bill. And then you find a story on specifically the Immaculate Philosophy, and it mentions the gold being the demon color, the Forsaken Ones, the tyrants of the First Age. And it basically says that the heroic dragon-blooded overthrew their cruel masters and claimed creation once again for the mortal man.
That's all I can find?
That's all you find.
Okay. Well, I definitely think that I take note of the fact that that kind of fits the description of what happened, but I am not really one to get super wrapped up in religious text and passages and things.
Right.
So I note that it like sounds familiar and that obviously has some traction sort of, but now I just really want to dig even deeper because I have at least something to kind of go off of, but it's late. I can't really go anywhere else to find any other books. I've already scoured what I have. So
Gotcha.
I will make my way to bed with my dogs.
All right, so
You do have dogs.
Yeah, no, now I do. It's canon.
it's canon now. They barked. I mean, they're
They
in the
barked.
game. So you pass out. Do you actually get to your bed, or do you pass out studying?
That's a good question. I probably am falling asleep as I'm reading, and then I hit my head on the desk really hard because it fell, and that's normal. That's normally my sign that I actually need to make it to my bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been through this a lot before.
So you make it to your bed.
I do make it to the bed.
You
yes.
fall asleep, and you have a dream that night.
Uh-oh.
You are suspended in the air. You had dreams of flying without an air machine before.
Oh, of course.
However, you're hovering. You're almost outside of your body at this point. There are like thick clouds all over, and you're looking down at this city the city below you, and it is in a perfect circle, almost like a giant cogwheel. And you see these giant beasts, and they're like lizard-like, reptilian almost, but they're all humanoid. Some are big and stocky. Some are almost like short and leave, like you'd imagine, like maybe a velociraptor for a real life sort of specimen. Some of them are like more giant, like alligator-like, and some of them just outright look like dragons. But they all are standing, walking, even talking, and they are wearing clothes, and they all have these like crystalline objects, and it looks like almost a technology of some sort. They're using these crystals as a tool, um, and you see like these moving parts and like gear work and whatnot, and then you just hear this whisper through your ear of it's just a name, Rothus.
How do I spell that?
Rathess.
Okay.
And then you wake up. You look down, there is a rolled up scroll inside of your hand, and you open it up and there's a map, and it just has an X. That's it's probably a week's travel south by foot. Well, I'm sorry, by horse.
Okay.
And that is where we'll end your section.
Okay.
Alright, hold on just a second.
Am I gonna die unexpectedly?
No, it's the end of your section.
Oh.
Alright.
Plot. Plot.
Well, I have a section called plot hooks in my notes.
That startled me.
The music just stop.
Well, yeah, Zook is swapping it.
I have
Oh,
to
okay.
wait for the next one.
I'm excited. That was fun.
Thank you.
I love it when Luna lays on the couch and she just faces the back of the couch. And she's just staring
She's
at it.
in the corner. No, talk to me. I'm angry.
Basically.
Why is your
What's
cat
happening?
angry?
She's
not
always
angry.
What did you do
Angry.
to the poor cat?
She's angry because
Kai.
we didn't pay attention to her enough.
Oh.
Wait, I like the
Whisper of Lost Sands. Why don't you describe yourself a little bit?
I didn't describe myself.
Yeah, Evan didn't describe himself.
All right, then no. I don't care. You're
Oh,
a
no, I
weird
was-
rabbit.
You're a weird rabbit.
It's not a rabbit, it's a jerboa.
I know.
Oh, chinchilla.
Chinchilla.
Jerboa.
Well, Evan, why don't you describe your character a little bit then?
Okay, so Alan is
Look at me.
pretty small. I think I had a height somewhere, did I not?
Short.
Maybe not.
You
Short,
put
yeah,
small.
basically like I did. I put small. Body type is small, so like not muscular, not really even toned, not like dying, right? Not like anorexic or anything. Has a reddish orange hair color, not like ginger, but cooler, you know, like that kind of red orange.
Ginger.
I see.
Yeah, cool hair. Anime protagonist hair. That's how you spot the protagonist.
Yep.
I mean,
Fair.
By their
people
hair.
have blue hair in Exalted, so I'll allow it.
Exactly. So Alan is relatively soft spoken, has a pretty high pitched voice, which I was trying to do.
Yeah, you did it.
Who
It was
who
good.
knows?
It was good.
Generally helpful and nice, and obviously, as I'm sure you guys could tell, very easily absorbed in things they find interesting, aka tinkering and technology, and even really just learning in general. They just like it a lot. They live in Ice Home, and their father is dead. and their mother is not dead, and their brother is not dead.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
All right, Jerboa, Whisper of the Lost Sands. Why don't you describe yourself a little bit?
Small Jerboa thing. Um. eh, that one.
That one.
That one.
This one. Okay. So tell us a little bit about maybe like your lifestyle. Where are you from?
So, Whisper of Lost Sands is from the southern deserts where their tribe lives. Um, they were not all of the tribe is born long-eared, and those that are considered to be destined to become the shamans. So that's what Whisper has been training for, like their entire life. So, very tribal, very simple people,
Okay.
very small and bouncy.
So you wake up, and how old is your character?
Young adult.
What?
I
What'd you say? Did you say
Young
adult?
adult.
Young adult. We'll say that you are considered a quote unquote adult for your tribe. Does your species have a shorter lifespan because they're animals, or maybe a longer one, or is it equivalent to human?
For simplicity's sake, we'll go equivalent.
Okay, so we'll say that it is your 17th birthday, which
Yay!
is like a lucky number amongst your tribe.
It's my birthday, guys.
It is your 17th
It's
birthday.
your birthday? Oh no. What a birthday.
And you know what that means because you're a long-eared Jerboakin, are now. You're supposed to go on your spiritual journey,
Yay.
and you wake up. Um, you get out of your tent and you look at your tribe. Um, your tribe is currently eating breakfast, and you eat, you speak with your tribe mates and whatnot, and we're gonna say your morning goes basically how your normal days would go, except people have been bringing you gifts. It's not like toys and things like that. It's more like I'm giving you this to help you on your journey, on your spiritual journey. Um,
Yay.
so somebody has given you like a water skin with purified water from an oasis. Somebody has given you traveling clothes. Someone has given you a backpack. Your tribe usually is a very light clothing sort of tribe. Very take with you what you need, but when it comes to when you're looking for a shaman, the spiritual journey could take you anywhere. So they try to prepare you for that. So you're given dried meats, you're given water, you're given clothes for several different circumstances, you're given a backpack with a bedroll, a portable tent, and then the shaman herself uh, comes up to you and hands you her staff. At you, Whisperer of Lost Sands. Is the day.
Hmm?
Today is the day.
It is.
Are you prepared?
I hope so.
The winds will guide your back, young. Remember your teachings. Go to the highest peak, and there must meditate, so you will find your answer. Then return to us once those answers have been revealed, and then you will lead our tribe to its. She places her hands on your shoulder, and she takes her ears and she presses them against yours, and her forehead then touches yours. She smiles. Good luck.
No pressure.
You'll do fine. Kind of gives you a pat on the back and takes her other walking stick. She brought another one. She gave you hers, which is a hooked sort of gnarled staff from actually like the northeast, which is really out of place from where it is. But she got it on her journey, and she's giving it to you. So she traveled a very long time before she returned and became the shaman. And she takes a stick that was given to her by one of her disciples, and she heads back to her tent. And everyone's kind of looking at you with a mixture of feelings, like a little bit of sadness from some, and others it's more of anticipation, and others perhaps even maybe a little bit of jealousy. Um, and they just are silently watching and see what you do next.
Didn't expect your birthday came up. Birthday.
Birthday. I didn't expect it either. It just kind of happened.
But okay. I'm going to give them all a very wide smile. Probably, yeah. I'll walk among the tribe and give them a farewell. Like, this is my family. I know them. They're going to say goodbye to everyone, and then start walking.
There are some fond farewells. There are teary eyes and um, just smiles, and you feel the warmth of your tribe, and you can't help but feel that sorrow as you have to leave, go on this spiritual journey. Sometimes the spiritual journey takes a few days. Sometimes it's a week. Sometimes you're gone a few years. It really depends from shaman to shaman, and when you get the vision and what the vision.
Yep. Pick a direction, start walking.
All right, and you start journeying, stopping on the 6th day in the desert to rest for a day, and
Yep.
then moving on because in the desert you never travel for more than 7 days.
No, that's bad.
In fact, that's probably instilled in you that you don't travel more than 6 days, like even outside of the desert. It's probably just a practice amongst your kind. And you have been traveling. We're going to lapse some time. You have been traveling for 2. Found a mountain, a very serene mountain, and you have been climbing it for the whole day. Um, it is now nightfall when you set up camp and rest for the night. It takes the next day, and you get to the just before bed, and you sit and you begin to meditate, and time passes,
Yay.
and more time, and more time, and oh my god, this is fucking boring.
Yep. Yep. This is boring. Meditation's boring. Can we go now?
A day goes by. Another half day goes by. Full day goes by. Another day goes by.
At this point, I'm just imagining Whisper is like laying on their back. It's like, is there a taller mountain I have to find?
Do you say that?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna have you make a perception and awareness roll.
Mountain might answer back. Oh god.
This is exalted. The mountain might answer back. Okay.
The mountain be like, what, am I not tall enough for you?
Oh, I see. So you're prejudiced towards short mountains.
What am I, a hill?
Oh, that didn't roll.
Chop
So
liver?
R?
Yeah, just R. They won't work on those ones. You have to actually physically throw them.
No, it works on them.
Does it?
Working.
Well, yeah, but it won't change color. Oh, it will.
Yes, it does.
Oh, yay! It
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Okay,
well.
one success.
Yep.
It's enough that you hear
Fantastic.
a slight tapping in the distance, and it's slowly getting louder. Something is coming towards you.
Oh, if it's hearing based, I get 2 more dice.
Oh, well, roll 2 more dice.
I'll just take 2 of these. Eh.
All right.
Yay!
So that's 2 successes. Not only do you identify it as a noise coming closer to you, you identify it as probably a average human with a cane, a walking stick, walking up the trail. Your ears kind of perk up. Do you look in that direction?
Probably. It's gotta be more interesting than trying to keep meditating.
You see a traveler. He adorned in traveler outfits. Looks like he's had to wear the same clothes for a few days. Maybe he's swapped it out with something that's in his backpack. He's got a bedroll and just going up the trails. And he looks and sees you and, oh, hello there.
Hi. And
What? Yeah. What language are you speaking?
she would know fire, but she
Yeah.
also knows. I have 2 dots in linguistics, so.
Well, river is common. So
Yep.
do you know common?
Probably just for trade.
Okay, so he probably, yeah, I'm gonna say he was speaking river.
Yeah. Just, like, very awkwardly. Hello?
I wasn't expecting to see anyone up here. Continues to walk. Mind if I sit?
Not my mountain.
No, I suppose it isn't. Sits down and takes a blanket and he unrolls it and he takes a seat and he takes out some bread from his backpack and he breaks it in half. Takes a bite out of one half and he holds the other one in front of him and his arm will reach out to offer you some of his bread.
Thank you. They'll take it, nibble a little bit.
What are you doing up here?
Meditating.
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 So you're just sitting up here?
Yeah, I guess.
That sounds incredibly boring.
You have no idea.
What are you meditating for?
I think it would help if I knew that.
Perhaps. So you don't even know what you're meditating for. Are you escaping something? Are you praying? Are you a holy man?
Deep sigh. I'm supposed to be going on this journey and meditating and learning answers so I can lead my tribe, but I hear nothing.
Oh, I'm I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine.
So, what answers are you seeking top of a mountain?
I don't know.
Well, what are the questions?
I don't know.
Where are
I
you
don't know. Everybody acts like I'm supposed to know. I don't know.
Well, I don't expect you to know.
And stop asking me questions.
I apologize. I am the inquisitive type. Where are you from?
Look around, like, trying to figure out which direction they went to begin with.
Yeah, you know right where you came from.
Yeah.
Oh,
South-ish.
so you're from the desert.
Yes.
Is your people from the desert as well?
Yes.
Oh. Dangerous travels in the desert.
Yep. However, the desert is flat. Mostly.
Well, besides the dunes, but I get your meaning.
I'm tiny. Do you know how long it took me to climb this mountain?
I honestly hadn't thought of that. What is your name, little one?
Whisperer of Lost Sands.
Oh, interesting. Are all your people named like that?
Yes.
Interesting. Oh. So, I'm just trying to get this straight here. So
Mhm.
you were sent on a journey.
Yep.
Top of this mountain.
I don't
To
know.
have answers to questions you don't even know what the questions are.
Roughly, yes.
Okay. And what have your other? I assume there are others before you that have gone on these journeys.
Hmm?
And what did they get answered?
They wouldn't tell me.
Well, that's rude. Well, uh, oh, I best be going. I wanted to get some more foot grounds while you know, before the night falls. It's a little cold on these edges.
What are you doing up here anyways?
Oh, just passing through.
All the way at the top?
Oh yeah, you've got to climb the mountain to get to the other side.
I guess.
He begins packing his things up and puts what's left of the half of the bread um, that he put that he had started to eat. He puts it back in his backpack and he packs everything up and he stands back up with his walking stick and well, I hope you find your answer. Sometimes you just have to go wherever your nose takes you.
Or ears.
Or or ears. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Rovloth.
You too. Sir.
Sir. Sir will do fine. He begins to walk away and he stops for a moment. By the way, you have something on your forehead. And keeps
What?
going.
Oh.
I like how he
What?
stared the entire time until the end to tell her that. Just, oh, by the way, there's something on your forehead. Leaves.
Well, it's like-
what
it's
do
like
you
when-
mean? How long has it been there?
Well, it's like when you have to try to tell somebody that there's something stuck in between their teeth. You just don't know how to bring it up, and
Oh, fair enough.
That
I feel like
awkward
I
pause.
just talked to a god.
Yeah.
Well, talk about a
said that, I was like,
spiritual
oh, I know
awakening.
exactly who the fuck that was.
What? I don't know who that is.
That was definitely the Conquering Son.
No, he wouldn't bother come looking for little old me.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes he can be a little too fucking entertaining.
So that is when you notice that there is a sort of warmth coming from your forehead, and kind of you go over to like a nearby pond. I assume that you would have probably set up near a water supply.
Yeah.
And you look, and yeah, sure enough, there is a glowing gold circle emitting from your forehead. And you have this dim aura around you, a soft golden glow.
Demon! Ah, demon!
As you look upon your
On your
reflection,
forehead.
your reflection, it's almost like something hits the water, and a rippling effect sort of happens, and it's replaced by this stone mural in front of you, and it has it's like a tomb, or perhaps like a temple, um, and you see this figure flanked with two females, all adorned in this beautiful armor. One is adorned in like this golden armor. Another is adorned with this red armor, and another is pure silver. And the three of them are just uh, looking almost ready for combat. And you see the mural itself cracks and just shatters before you, and then you feel like there's something pulling you to the north. This is a sensation you've never felt before. But suddenly that that answer that you've gotten your whole life of how, like, that has pissed you off, that you'll just know it. And like, what the hell do the elders mean by that? But now you know. You just know it. Time to travel north.
I'm gonna grab my stuff and go.
All right.
Anything's better than sitting around on a mountain all day doing nothing.
Oh, God, you have
For
no
like
idea.
for like 5 days, for like 5.5 days or something, you were just meditating and getting more bored, and I feel like your character just slowly went from a sitting position to just falling onto her back.
Yep.
Just like, I'm done.
In all actuality, nothing happened. She just went insane from fucking boredom. No, I'm just kidding.
This is the true answer that you have been looking for.
At that point, she's like considering what would be a believable lie to tell them that what epiphany have I had that they would believe? Just so I can go the fuck
north.
home.
No, here's the great thing, right? You have this urge, and it's time to travel north. But instead of actually traveling north, you go home and you say that that's your answer. They're like, "What's your answer?" It's time to travel north. Let's go.
It's like, goddamn, they could have told me that at the beginning of my journey. I wasted like 4 days on this mountaintop. I could be almost there. Okay, so let's see. Everyone's got to load.
I really liked that scene, by the way. Just that whole thing that happened.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good. It's a calm and serene. It's a very much a change of pace. Like, you just get visited by some dude.
Forehead, you realize everything.
I will be right back, and then we will dive into SIGs. Prepare
Oh
yourself.
god. I drew a smiley face on the on my little dice box. Is your hello still there? Yes, it is.
Yes, it will be there forever.
I love that.
I ate canned
Until-
pasta.
There we go. I underlined your hello.
I have to remind Zook to rewind the table because I fucking deleted my shit.
No rewinding.
No, rewind because I accidentally deleted my whole limit trigger.
You should have told him that, or like had him do it right when
I
it
did.
happened.
Everybody
was-
has picked shit up since then.
Yeah,
I know.
it would be so long to reload that, so
God.
you're just gonna have to kind of remember it.
Didn't you make a backup table?
I do have a backup table.
Clay.
We'll get it after the
Yeah.
after this game session.
Yeah.
We'll load the backup and see if it's there.
Now that's smart. Good job.
Yay! That's because I overwrote the whole table once. And I'm like, you know
Oh,
what?
no.
I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Will this play now? Won't. Sucks.
I'm imagining right now would be like the perfect time for Soaring Crane Leap, where Whisperer just launches themselves off the fucking mountain.
I'm going on an adventure! Okay, Sig,
We're not gonna bring yes.
tell us a little bit about Leonir. What she looks like, and a little bit about her.
I have this written down in my brain, just can't read. She's tall. She's probably the tallest one.
How
She's like
tall are you?
she's 5'10". Tall as Radomir.
I'm 6 foot.
Oh,
You're 6 foot.
okay, so I'm like 2 inches shorter than you. Fine.
Fey blood.
You're probably the buffest though.
She is not at all buff. No, she is actually very slim and a bit malnourished because she is a slave.
Right.
But appearance-wise, she has long platinum blonde hair that goes down to the middle of her back. She has like pale green-gray eyes. She's pale because she doesn't get to go outside a lot, so she's probably really easy to burn or tan, or both. Despite being a slave, because she's basically she isn't basically. She is a slave of House Regara. She's kind of dressed well. Like, she wears like a dress shirt, black pants and boots, and she grabs a cloak on later, but personality-wise, she's pretty quiet, introverted. She's paranoid. And she is curious though, but that also like backlashes against her paranoia because she's just like, well, shit, but I want to know this, but I don't, but I do. So she like fights with herself about that, and she's like 19. There we go. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. So normally, like I did everybody else, I usually ask them what they're doing or, where they are, but you're a
Ouch.
slave, so I'm going to tell you what you're doing.
Yep.
You are, it is early morning, probably 7, 8 o'clock. You've already been working in the fields for 3 hours, and you are currently, picking some opium. You cultivate quite a bit of plants. Most of them are either opium, marijuana, the coca plant. You also do other crops, you tend to livestock and whatnot, but you are currently picking opium at this point. It has been a long, arduous day. You are in the field. You can feel the sweat kind of just pouring down your brow when you see your sister coming towards you with a bucket and a ladle inside the bucket. And she is dressed much better than you because she is a house slave. You are a field worker, so you probably have rough linen pants, probably no shoes, and probably bandages just to keep your breasts in place. That's about it. And your sister, however, is adorned in a very regal maid's outfit And she looks very beautiful. Her hair is done up well into braids. She has makeup on, and she is walking towards you with the bucket with water. She stops and she gets a ladle full of water, and she brings it to your mouth.
I will drink it.
Leo, how fares
Yes.
the day?
Uh, it's shitty.
I can imagine. Well,
What, midsummer or something?
yeah, right around there, right around midsummer.
Probably wish I could go inside. Considering this heat, you get it lucky. You get to stay in the shade at least. How are they treating you?
Well enough.
No one's hit you today?
Not today.
Okay.
Not yet.
Uh,
What is your sister's name? I'm trying to
Fen.
find it. Fen. Okay.
F-E-N.
F-E-N. Okay, Fen.
Yep.
Alright, trying to break up my puppies.
The puppers!
The puppies!
They're bored and they're wrestling.
Of course they are.
Well, I just came to get you your break of water. And I thought you might like to know there's supposed to be a fight in about an hour. I know you like to see those.
Who's it between?
Some newcomer, a new slave fighter that they got. Supposedly specializes in fist weapons. Thought you might like to see it.
Would. That sounds interesting compared to the masters and their sword fighting.
Well, I best be returning.
Alright.
Bear yourself well, sister.
And you as well. Try not to get hit.
I will try.
That's literally all she can say because it's like inevitable.
Basically. And she kind of rubs her arm a little bit and walks away.
Suspicious. Suspicious big sister staring.
Suspicious. And she doesn't pay much note to it. She usually kind of keeps to herself a little bit. She doesn't want you to go. She doesn't want to go into details with you because she knows how angry you can get. Internally screaming. Exactly. So she returns to the manor, and that's when you see a carriage arrive, and some people walk out. Looks like a fair-skinned, very buff person in shackles comes out, and they put him inside of the fighting cage that is literally right outside for their entertainment. And you see a few of the dragon-blooded masters, and they are conversing with each other. You're too far away to hear what they're talking about at this point. And they shake hands, and there's a little bit of exchange of paperwork. And then the person who was driving the carriage gets back on the carriage and then rides off.
I'm going to a basic, because I'm working in the opium fields, I'm assuming that's a bit closer to the fighting arena, basically.
Yes.
I'm going to pick up I assume that I have a basket that's carrying all of this, and
Yep.
I'm going to move a little bit closer, as if I'm looking for a better patch to work on, so that I can,
Sure.
like, listen and see better.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you get fairly close. You manage to find a pretty good spot where you can keep working. I mean, you've been doing this for so long, you don't have to look at the plans to be able to do it at par of what you need to deliver. So they begin setting up, and that's when the fight breaks out. And the new guy is amazing. He bashes into this other slave who probably is equal, maybe even a little bit bigger than he is, and he uses a chain. And they're fighting chain versus claw, and there's it's exchanging blows back and forth. The new guy is great, but eventually he has the chain wrapped around his neck and yanked, and he is strangled. Basically he's turning purple at this point, and he goes in for like a last blow with his claw, and the person with the chain deflects the claw, and it goes flying into the field. Ching, ching, ching. Not nearby you, but you see another slave walk over to it, and grabs a hold of it and walks inside with it. The fight is over. The new person that just showed up is dead.
Oh
The
man.
the dragon-blooded owner looks infuriated, takes a whip out and just snaps it on the guy with the chain, basically yelling at him that he didn't want he didn't want you. What languages do you speak?
Uh,
Before I describe what he says.
I think I only know. Well, how many points do I have in linguistic? If I could find it, I have 1 point in linguistic, so I think it's just
So you know,
common language.
you know River.
Okay.
He is yelling in probably low realm, which is the language of the lower class in Exalted, in the realm. So this guy was probably from like the realm, and he came over. And fighters usually get treated a little bit better than like Eurostation, for instance. So you don't really hear, you don't really understand what they're saying, but you get the gist of he is not happy that he killed the new fucking slave. He wanted at least a few fights out of him. The other person is put back into shackles and let off. The dragon-blooded heads back inside, and you continue working for the day. The night.
Happen to
Go ahead.
recognize the other slave who took the claw inside?
Yes, it's it's just one of the maids. You've run into her a few times, but she was out there to make sure like people were fed, that the masters were attended to. So it was one of the proper slaves, one of the ones like your sister.
Okay.
And the rest of the day, is there anything else you want to do before?
Could I get like a glance at the arena to see if there was anything left in there, even though that I probably won't be able to go over there?
Lots of blood, but you can. I'll give you a perception and an awareness roll.
So, is that just perception?
You're gonna take your perception, and then whatever. How many points do you have in awareness?
4.
So you're gonna take your perception of 3, your perception of 4, so that's 7 dice.
Why do those make such a funny noise when they spawn?
It's just the donking noise.
Oh, why can't I grab these? Oh wait.
So
Can I
what you can
finally
do,
grab
you
these?
can box select them.
Oh, there we go. It wouldn't let me do that at first.
Yeah.
I think they were probably still spawning.
And you can either shake it or you can press R a bunch of times and it'll throw them up in the air.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay.
Because the orange means it's 10, so that's 2 successes. The greens mean 1. The reds mean that's when you roll a 1. So if you were to get like all black and reds, that means you botched the roll and it's like a critical failure. But luckily that didn't happen. So you get 4 successes. You see a lot of blood. Other than that, the attendees that went to it did pretty well of cleaning any like debris or anything that was left on the in the fighting arena. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. So you finish up the day. You work till your fingers bleed. Just another typical day. You've actually built up a little bit of a tolerance to opium because of how often you work with it. Even though you've never actually done opium, it basically topically.
It just seeps into my blood because my fingers bleed.
It's true actually. My uncle actually works on a marijuana farm for a medical grower in the state of Maine, and he has worked like a 10-hour day before, and he has gotten high from just breaking it up and trimming the plants. So that's probably happened to you before with opium, and
Probably.
you've built up a tolerance to opium because of it.
Yeah.
So you head back. You are fed your subpar dinner, and
Just
which
bread.
probably consists of like a gruel for protein and bread and like water. And you were brought back down to the basement where all the slaves stay, and you are chained back up. And it's late that night. Um, and then your sister comes down, and she looks very distraught. She's brought down with the Master Dragon Blooded, and one of them, the younger one, and is unshackled, and then you see your sister actually flinches a little bit, even though he didn't actually strike her. The young dragon blooded goes back up the stairs. I'm gonna say it is his name is Philistine.
Could you put that in chat or
Yes.
something? That is a name and a half. Thank you.
Philistine. And all their last name is Sinus because they are part of the House Sinus, which is, let me write that for you too. Sinus.
Wait, hold on. Oh, okay.
Not Sasis, Sinus.
I was like, what? Hold on a second.
And he walks upstairs. I'm gonna have you make a perception and awareness roll. This is a hearing beast.
Let me check. Do I have anything in hearing? I mean,
You have, like,
I
a
have
specialty?
I have like eavesdropping, but I'm not sure if that counts.
Absolutely. Yep, that applies.
Okay, then I will add one more dice. Come here, dice. Why are you so laggy?
Because this whole table is lagging because of the fog of war. Once we get rid of the fog of war, it'll be a lot better.
I got. Okay, none of my colors changed.
Oh,
for me.
yeah. I think it's because of the way they roll.
Do you want me to re-roll it?
Yeah, well, we can just count it. Let me
Oh, okay.
highlight it. Oops, that was not that.
That
Oh, there
was
we go.
red.
All right,
Oh.
so 1, 2, 3. That was a 7 before I switched it over. So 4 successes. Okay, so you've got 4 successes, and you overhear that the masters are leaving. Like now. They're going on a journey. They're taking a late trip to the north, and they're leaving the house to Philistine. So he's basically in charge, which is cringeworthy because he is the worst one of them all. He's a spoiled, rotten brat, and he generally gets his way whatever he wants. He particularly is cruel to your sister. Do not like this guy.
I already hate him.
And
Man.
the door closes and your sister just starts weeping. She
Oh,
is
no.
bawling. She grabs you close and just cries into your shoulder.
I will hold her because, my god, this poor child.
That's when you feel something damp hit your skin.
Probably her tears, question mark?
That's what you thought at first, but
Oh.
then you look down and you notice blood trickling from her arm.
Oh no.
Fen, what happened?
And she covers it up and she doesn't want to show you.
Show me. I won't get mad.
And
Despite the fact that I'm already mad.
she unbuttons her sleeve and rolls up, and you see a slash mark on the top of her wrist. And I'm gonna have you make another perception and awareness roll. This is sight-based.
Let me put these off of the board and see if that resets their colors before I...
Yep.
Oh, there we go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you see when she pulls up her arm, you see the one slash mark, but then you see what looks like another mark above it, but this one isn't bleeding. It looks like a scar. Your sister usually wears long sleeve shirts, long sleeve dresses, and is very self-conscious. She doesn't like, even though she's so beautiful, she's got a 4 appearance. She doesn't like showing her skin, but you see it looks like there's another scar above it.
Has this happened before?
She seems hesitant.
Was it Philistine? I'm not sure if that was heard.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
She pauses and kind of looks into her arms, and she exhales heavily. And she unbuttons her top button. And then the next one. And then the next one. She slowly takes off her blouse and exposes her chest to you, and her shoulders and her back. And then she begins to speak. Whenever he takes me into his chambers, he leaves his mark. And that's when you notice all the scars all over her body. Hash marks.
Oh my
1,
god.
2, 3, 4, and then 1 to count to 5. All over her body, head to toe. Shh. Tonight he ran out of spots. You feel
I'm so angry.
You feel this anger rush over you. Your heart begins to just pump. Almost, you can feel it jumping out of your chest. And that's when your shackles feel warm, almost like they're burning, and you just reflexively scream in anger and rip your chains apart. At that point, you see this golden aura all around your body as there's like this bonfire around you. Your totemic image cascades and just takes this once darkened room into just blinding flash of light. You rip your chains off and you go up the stairs.
Kill this motherfucker. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker.
You slam the door open, and you see a few of the guards turn, and before they're able to draw their weapon, you're on top of them, your hands throttling one, and then you rip its jugular out with your bare hands, and then onto the next one, and you pummel the other one into just a pulp. There's nothing left of the face.
It's killing child molester hours.
Yes, it is.
Well, she's not a child. She's of age. Actually,
she's like 2 years younger than
he's like
you.
a child. The Philistine's like 16, 14, 15.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but it's still fucked up.
And you pounce to the next one, just start
Killing
devastating
children.
them. That's
Going
when
to
the
murder
guards
them.
all like, they kind of turn around baffled, and they start drawing their weapons and coming at you. The maids that are still up are looking around like befuddled. What's happening? What's going on? And you just push them aside, and lunge onto all the guards, all the ones that are showing hostility to you, and you are just letting your anger pour out, ripping person and person apart with your bare hands. And you make your way from one room to the next, leaving nothing but a trail of blood. Then you stomp your way up those stairs, and you can hear in the distance the sound of of pleasure, of moans, of sex from
God.
Philistine, and the sobbing of another person.
This child is so horny. Wow.
You slam. They're sinis, man. They're you slam another door open, and you see the woman before, and she looks at you. The one that picked up the item in the crops, and she looks at you, and she looks at you wide-eyed, and she says to you, Leo. You're actually on first name basis with her. She even calls you Leo. Wait.
Where?
And you're like, you don't want to, but then you see
Don't
her.
want to. No, I
see
want
her-
him dead.
You see her go to a nearby dresser and pull out a cloth and holds it in front of you and unwraps it, and that's when you see these fighting gauntlets. And she hands it forward.
I'll take them. Thank you.
You grab them into your hands, and it feels good.
Yes.
Your foot soon meets the doors, the double archways, as they slam open, and you see there he is, Philistine, on top of this woman, holding her arms down as he makes his way with with one of the slaves who has just gone limp at this point, just complete defeat. Like, there's nothing she can do about this. This is my life. And his back is just to you. And he is so oblivious to what has been going on, he doesn't even realize it until that slammed door, and then he turns around and looks at you. What do you do?
I'm going to fucking lunge at him.
Alright, so I'm going to have you make a grapple check. So you're going to roll a strength and athletics roll.
What is my strength? And athletics is 3, so 7. I have 7 dice right here, so. Let me make sure that those are all picked up.
Okay.
3.
Successes. He is going to make his strength and athletics roll, which he doesn't have much of.
He's a fucking potato.
Yeah, he is a merchant's child. That's a botch. So, you get 3 rounds to do whatever the fuck you want. What do you do to him?
I'm going to make him suffer. I'm going to slash open his fucking chest first.
So you
And
slash.
then I will slowly kill him.
You slash open
Rip
his
his
chest.
dick off.
The blood begins to pour out of his chest, and you see like the greenish aura from his dragon-blooded heritage starts to flare up. He's trying to do something about it, but you're keeping him down. He is completely pinned. He is at your mercy. That is round 1. Round 2, what do you do?
To pin both of his arms down with the claws and take my hands out of them so I can just start punching him in the face.
All right, and you just begin punching him over and over in his face. He doesn't know what's even hitting him at this point. He's just so flabbergasted that one of his slaves would have the audacity to touch him in this manner. That's round 2. What do you do?
Can I stab him in the throat?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna stab him in the throat.
Round 3, you take the with the claws, I assume.
Yes.
You shove all 3 blades into his throat, at which point it just the force of your essence, of your strength, of your newfound exalted power goes through his neck, your arm, your wrist actually going into his bloody corpse, and you rip out his tongue, which dangles in your hand before you throw it to the side. And the woman that he was taking advantage of just looks at you in horror. She is covered in his blood.
I'm going to look at her and I'm just going to say run.
She just gets up and books it. She just takes off. Alright, so you are still glowing at this point. That's when it kicks in that you have this golden aura around you and you feel invigorated. You have never been this alive before. What do you do?
I'm gonna kill the rest of the guards so that I can ensure that the other slaves are able to get free.
Okay, so you do you wait where you are, or do you you let them come to you, or
I will go to them, considering
Okay.
you said that most of them were chained in the basement. So
okay. So one by one you track down the different guards. You know how many guards there are. You have had days upon days where you have nothing but imagining this moment, and it's finally come. It's almost to the point where you're not sure if you're dreaming or not, but you go from one person to another, to another, to another, until there is not a person left in that royal family, guard, family, or otherwise, that is still alive. And you kill each and every one of them. And it's House Regara, I'm sorry. It is
Yep.
Regara, not Sinus. Small detail, I wanted to correct myself there. And you kill every last one of them. At which point, you are standing over the last body, and there's no one left to kill. What do you do?
help free the slaves that are still chained in the basement.
All right, so you go down. You found a key. You unshackle your sister first, who clings to you, shocked in terror.
Despite the fact that I'm like covered in blood.
Covered in blood. And then you pull the chains out of the other, out of the ring. Basically, it's one of those situations where they're shackled, and the shackles are on a chain, and all the chains are looped together. So you take
Yes.
the chains out of them, you unshackle each one of them, and they all just run. At which point, you take that moment, and you take off. And that is where we will end chapter 1.
I got to murder the entire fucking house.
Okay. So that is where we will end chapter 1.
Fuck aw.
We didn't even get to the temple, but I'll do a little post sum up. So let me switch the music to something not so somber now that that is over with. Okay, let's do back to heroic age. There we go. What do you mean they haven't loaded the audio clip? They already
Yeah,
had
we've
it
been sitting
loaded.
here for like ever.
I think it does it per track.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So, going back in time a little bit. Well, going back to the other characters. So, Token, after Radomir had successfully done the job, you have been sent on another job by the guild, who has given you the coordinates, the map, and the resources to a tomb. They want you to go for this buried treasure in a place where other guild members have tried to go and failed. That is your next job. Evan, your character Alan, is keeps having these recurring dreams of this wonderful city that you are pretty sure is called Rothus, and you have been traveling. You haven't been able to secure. They didn't let you secure an airship, unfortunately. So you had to take horse. But you travel for a few weeks, and you are heading towards this location instinctively, and you're heading to this temple of some sorts, and that is where your destiny is basically leading you, and you have been following it. Whisper of what is it? Whisper of Lost.
Sands.
Okay, Whisper of Lost Sands. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. You have been basically being pulled toward this location as well, where you have heard whispers in your dreams of finding your brothers and sisters. finding your lost family, and you feel like you will be reunited, and that is your journey in the future to get to this location and figure out what your destiny lies in store. Um, as for Leonir, you have since traveled away from the farm. You have set up a home for uh, for Fen and yourself, and unfortunately, you were discovered by other people of the Regara line. No dragon-blooded, luckily, but other people of the Regara line have come looking for you and tried to hunt you down. You have killed every single one that has come your way. However, you have come to the conclusion that you cannot stay with Fen. As long as you're with Fen, you are a danger to her because they are coming for you. So you have decided to go on the road, and you have traveled north, to which you just find yourself going from location to location, taking up odd jobs, and one of those odd jobs is to delve into this ancient ruin, and that is where we will leave off this session. And so we will go into the chapter end, where we will wrap things up and hand out XP.
Yay.
And the way we do that, I'm pretty sure everybody here has done the "What have you learned" thing with me before,
Or at
Yeah.
least seen it.
or at least seen it. Okay, so basically we're gonna go around in a circle, and each one of you is gonna tell me what have you have learned, and it can be something you've learned in character, something you've learned out of character, something you've learned about another character. You know, it can be anything you have learned from this session. So we're gonna start off.
Oh, the,
We're
where's
gonna
the XP box in here that we like write down where we have it, or is that not on?
It's like halfway down.
yeah,
on
you see experience and solar experience.
It's under willpower, limit break, essence, limit trigger,
Oh, okay.
above
Yep.
the weapons.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
It's the void section where you don't really pay much attention to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you will all gain an automatic 10 experience. And for solar experience, that's what these "What have you learned" will go towards. The difference between experience and solar experience is experience can go to anything, whereas solar experience can only go to like stats. It can't go to anything magical, so you can't spend it on charms, but you can spend it on anything else.
Which is stupid. You would think they would call solar experience the stuff you can spend on solar harm.
I agree. Okay, I agree. But that's not the way it works.
I
Okay,
don't like it.
so we have a possible 15 points that you can get from this. And I'm going to start from. We'll go in order of of the chapters. So, Radomir, what have you learned?
I learned that we're. Hold on. I have learned that my character is so willing to go so low as to even sleeping with fucking child molester just to make their life hell.
To get the job done. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that means Evan, what have you learned?
So a weird
Alan?
weird thing I want to put. I was like making notes in the little notebook under the orange tab, and they're just like all gone now.
Oh
know
no,
what
are you
happened.
If you
serious?
click on it again, it like reappears.
I've been like, no, it's gone.
I see,
Oh,
like mine disappeared
no.
very momentarily for some reason, and then like I had to like re-click into it.
Yeah, no, like
Just
I'm clicking into it. It's not, nothing's happening.
That's so
it wasn't.
weird.
It wasn't a ton of notes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I just wanted to mention that because
All right, so notes should probably be done in a separate document then, just to keep it out of. Because yeah, I think there's a lot going on for this.
Yeah, no,
for this
and that's
table.
fair.
So
Okay, so Alan learned, whoops, how to make guns.
Okay. Kai, what have you learned?
Hmm.
Meditation is boring.
I knew
Well,
that
you're
already.
not
Nolan.
wrong. That is so true.
Oh, we have a viewer that says that they learned something. If they come up with something, I will actually award you guys an extra experience point. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Unbound Lopez, what have you learned? I really like the Exalted system. All right, well, that's, you know what? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I don't even know how long you've been watching, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We're gonna be doing this every Thursday, so oh really? From the beginning? All right, great. Well, if I don't know if you're a follower or not, but every Thursday we're gonna be doing this. You can also follow me on Twitter. I announce it every time that that we start streaming, and it's at Geeks Anonymous. So if you want to give me a follow there, keep up to date. We also down below there is a Discord link. You can join that, and that is also probably the quickest way to get a hold of us. So, Evan, Kai, what have you learned? I think we were on Kai, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 4 so far that you've gotten.
Whisperer has learned that she actually doesn't know what she's supposed to be looking for. Like, it never occurred to her until she was asked, what are you looking for?
Okay. Leonir, what have you learned?
Have a tolerance to opium.
You have learned that you have a tolerance to opium, and you've never actually done it before. Okay.
Yup.
So, Radomir, what have you learned?
Token.
How what? Sorry.
Zook
What have-
asked,
what have you learned?
again?
What? I already did my thing.
It's
No, we're going around again.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
we're
That's
more
how
of
that
still going?
works.
You're at
Oh.
6.
Yeah, you
you're
do
at
it a couple
6
times.
right now. We have
Oh,
up to
okay, okay,
15 that you could possibly get. If anyone doesn't come up with something, it breaks the chain. And you get just what you have left over.
Oh fuck, that's a lot of pressure, man.
Oh,
hmm.
hang on a second. We got a couple more from Unbound Lopez. I actually picked up a few things. I learned that the gunsmith has some pretty solid ties with the town. I learned
Fuck
that the
yeah.
bunny lady needs a compass because her life is confusing.
I think we all need an internal compass because life in general is very confusing.
Honestly, though, please help me.
I learned that I put some points in some wrong spots.
Whoopsie.
That I need to, well, not necessarily wrong, but rather I should probably invest some experience into some specific abilities.
It's all good. Well,
Specifically investigation. I never really thought I was going to be using that because we were originally going to have someone who was probably going
Well,
to be better at it
right.
than me.
Here's the great thing though is what if you just like never have to use it again after like
I
today?
doubt it.
well, now that you kind of know the flow of what's going on, we can kind of. I'll let
Yeah.
you talk to me, and we can do that after game to kind of see where you would like to reassign, since now you know a little bit more about the system.
Well, I mean, if I have experience, I could probably spend that.
Yeah, that's true too. Okay,
I'm
so
totally fine.
what? Oh, so I will count that as what you've learned. Basically, you've learned that things that you thought you wouldn't need, you kind of do, and things that you
Yeah.
don't need, you kind of, you know, so on and so forth.
Well,
You know
I
what I'm
wouldn't
saying.
say that.
You know what I'm trying to say, though. All right,
Surprisingly, I
so
actually did use that medicine dot that I gave myself.
hey,
The singular
medicine
dot.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did use medicine.
It did.
All right, so that means
It's my
Evan.
turn.
Alan, what have you learned?
Alan learned.
And it can also be what Evan learned too.
Yes. I'm trying to save this in reserve. I'm going to try to stress what Alan learned first, and then I
Sure.
can talk about what Evan learned. So Alan learned that he's got something fucking going on with him, and he is fired up to fucking figured out what it is
Okay.
because they don't like to not know things.
Whispers, what have you learned?
It just dawned on me that I didn't like. I don't think it's dawned on Whisper that she potentially talked to like a spirit or a god. I should have rolled for that.
I would say you probably haven't before.
Right.
That you know of.
I know of.
Because
Yeah.
that's a fine line.
Very fine line.
Okay. So, try to use your names, your character names, so I can learn them. Leonir.
What Leonir learned, but I learned that the fucking masters of the house love to have slave fights, and they'll just go purchase them so that they can fight.
Yeah, I
And
actually
they get
got.
really angry when they die on first round.
I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen Django.
No,
But
I
Yes,
didn't
I
actually see that.
just watched it and I got like some inspiration from the whole slavery thing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use some of this. That is such a badass Quentin Tarantino movie, by the way. Watch it. Okay, so another one and full circle. We're going back to Radomir.
Oh god. Uh, hmm. Hmm. I have learned that Radomir has a soft spot for children.
Okay. Unbound Lopez says, "Oh, I also learned that you all need to take notes outside of Tabletop Simulator. Also, which kid did she kidnap in the beginning?"
I do actually take notes outside of Tabletop Simulator. I always have a
I
fucking
did.
Yeah,
all of
that's
mine.
just
I was
just
trying
in
to
case.
be smart and like use the system and
I mean,
Yeah,
I
for
was let
some
down.
reason it botched
and it was
there.
probably a glitch.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's probably because of all the latency that I'm having because of the fog
Yeah.
of war.
Well, and that's fair. Like I didn't have a ton of notes,
Yeah.
so it's not like a huge deal.
Mhm.
Okay.
You
Did
do
you
not
just
wanna
give me
see any
one?
of my Rogue Trader notes.
Huh? Yeah, me. I gave you one.
So
Yeah,
Evan.
It's me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alan.
So Alan learned that, or they have a lead on the fact that there's some weird but awesome technology stuff that they might be looking into soon.
Yeah, the crystalline technology.
Yes.
That. By the way, that is actually straight from the book in first edition, and it's awesome. I can't wait to get to it.
Me either, nor can Alan.
Right? Okay.
Gotta go fast.
Whispers.
Gotta go fast.
Whispers. This will be your last one. We've got 3 more to go.
Yep. Quick question. What did Alan do with their dog? Are they coming with them on the trip?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I mean, that's up to you.
Or take care of
Do
my
you-
fucking dogs.
Do you? Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you
Yeah.
really want them to be at risk of dying?
No.
I don't
No,
want to
Felix.
roleplay
Yeah,
having
Leonir is
to
Felix
kill a
afraid of
house
dog.
sit. Felix is gonna house sit.
Okay.
Wilma and Felix will house sit.
Felix will
Okay.
puppy sit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it was just a thought I had.
Good thought.
God damn it, guys! Stop. The dogs are fighting. Okay. Shit. Who are we on?
Me.
You. Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
God damn it, Oscar.
Dog.
Bork.
Doesn't want to be at Felix's. He wants Alan.
Well, I mean, Oscar doesn't have to be at Felix's because they live right next door to each other. So.
Come in every morning and feed the dogs.
All right,
Yeah.
Whispers. What have you learned?
Hmm.
Could be something you learned out of character as well.
Well, I'm just thinking Whisperer has probably learned that it really sucks to have to walk everywhere, especially up a fucking mountain.
Yeah, you probably had to go the furthest out of everybody. You've probably been traveling a lot longer than everybody else.
I'm also less than half their size,
Yeah, I'm on a
Yeah,
horse.
she
so.
is.
But
so
I
I'm
mean,
going twice as far.
you probably would have gotten a mount, something
Eh.
that you could ride. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think.
Or yeah, you probably just would have walked.
Yeah,
Just took you a while. Okay,
this sucks.
2 more. Radomir.
Oh, you skipped me.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Cries in the corner.
Leonir. Leonir. How could I forget the vicious, angry girl?
Well, I learned that her temper is a lot worse than I originally planned it to be, but that's fine.
That
She's
was
a-
also your exaltation.
Considering her concept in my description is literally an anger child. So-
Okay. So now, Radomir, last one.
Putting all the pressure on you, Token.
I learned that I'm going to have to come up with some different ideas for tattoos.
All right.
I started making a Pinterest board for him to like kind of gather some ideas for different art ideas. But like if I'm gonna be picking fucking tattoos that are like saying child molester and guild camp, then fucking I'm gonna have to find some different ideas.
Unbound Lopez has also learned that in Exalted there are a lot of anime hair characters and people with blue spiky hair.
Yep,
So what I'm gonna
legit.
do is you're gonna get 15 solar XP, and because chat came up with like 5, I'm gonna give you 5 regular experience points to go on top of that.
So we're at 15 each.
So you're at 15 each.
Perfect. Oh fuck.
Sweet. Thank
And-
you, Unbound Lopez, for scoring us extra XP.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something I always do. Freaking if you know if the viewers come up with things that they've learned, then you guys get more XP. So the whole
Pretty
viewer
sweet deal.
viewer participation is encouraged. All right, so that is where we will end today's session. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope everyone had a good time. I had a lot of fun with this. I've been waiting for a while now to actually get this done. We didn't even get to the temple, but we're gonna.
Do you know how long he spent on this fucking temple?
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen,
Considering
from
I
how
brought
long...
it up, what I brought up having an Exalted game because I was interested in it, which is why we started it on like April
Yeah.
20th,
Yep.
and we finally got to it today because my work schedule is a piece of shit, but it
Yeah.
should be done being fucked around with, and if it's not,
Good.
I'm
I
going
was also
to
in
be
school.
very angry
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Evan was
How
in
did that
school,
go?
so
because you were on your finals.
stop
last
turning
week.
stuff over.
Yeah, so...
How did you do
Bizarre.
that? I thought I
Um,
locked
Like, you
that.
just
I
unlocked
passed.
it.
I passed
Stop!
my classes.
Good.
Don't worry, I've been the little tokens next to
God.
our models. I've been flipping those constantly,
God damn it.
and then I
can't
would
give
just
you guys
flip them
things to play
back.
with. All right, so let's sum this up. Thank you guys
Okay,
so
I'm
much
upside
for
down.
joining today. I hope you guys all had a good time. I hope it
Can
was
you save
okay.
so that I can flip the table?
Yes, I will save the game. Hold on just a second. Let me go save, overwrite, and I will keep the other one not saved so I can copy the stuff over.
Yes.
And the table is flipped.
There's so
Yep.
much lag.
Yeah.
Look at all the clouds.
Fucking clouds!
Oh my god!
There goes the thing!
My fog of war.
Look, there's
It's
more
still
lag.
raining from the sky.
All right, so thank you guys so much for watching.
No, it's fine.
We're gonna try to do this next Thursday as well, as long as everything goes according to plan, and we hope to see you there. Until then, toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.